Hello, hello, hello. Tonight we're gonna have a really big shoe tonight. We have the exciting Frog G, Voodoo, God, and Magic, yes. And my co-host, Devil Flyer, and the terrific artist, Jason Bascom, Unhinged Entertainment, everybody. Hello! Hello! Yes, thank
Hello.
you, thank you. I would like to introduce the wonderful people in the chat, if I may. We have Woodrow. Hello, Woodrow.
Hail Woodruff.
Yeah, Woodrow. Yeah, comics make good day. You got it. Yes.
What's up,
And
guys?
we'll have more coming up soon. Yes, and Frog G is here, of course. Yes. Here we go. All right. So, um, Jason, you've been an artist for like a very long time. So, like, how many years have you been drawing since you're a kid, or what?
Yeah, I've been drawing since I was 10. I'd start drawing. That's when we
Nice.
got our first comic books. So, we would start
About
drawing.
20 years ago.
Well, that's the thing though. I've been drawing almost all my life, but obviously, people take hiatuses sometimes for a while. So,
Mhm.
off and on, I would say, 25 years is what I say.
That's good.
Because yeah. So yeah, just a couple days. Been at
Awesome,
it.
man. Awesome. Shoot. I've been drawing for like a little over 50 years. I'm old as shit.
Well,
Clay tablets, stone.
Yes, I did. Yeah, the clay tablets. There you go.
yeah, I mean, you just hammer at it every day, and if you can, and you'll improve. Like we were just talking right before you went live, how Dean is leveling up. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
you could tell. I mean, he was good already. Look at NTM, Noah, who does Maverick. I mean, he's 17 now, and I mean, he's already
17?
Yeah.
he's drawing like I did like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So like
Wow.
he's insanely good already. So the competition not only is getting good, but the talent out there is getting
Getting
younger and better.
younger.
So yeah, and if they keep at it every single day, like man, I wish I'd drawn every day from when I first started drawing. Like I would be a phenom. Yeah,
Mavericks. Check
yeah,
out the link, guys. The
you got to
Mavericks.
Now,
Yes.
you were kind of comic poor growing up, right? Your brothers, each of them read something different than you did.
Yeah, well, we all got when we went to a grocery store when we were kids. They handed out comic books, and you got a comic book every like $20 you spend. I can't remember the denomination; it was a long time ago. But so we got three comic books. Three brothers. So my Spider-Man, X-Men, and Thor. So I got Thor, and my other two brothers got the other one. So yeah, but we would collect different things, and we didn't share reading. Like a lot of families who have brothers and sisters who collected and stuff, they'd be like, oh, I read this, you read it now. It's like, no, it was like you collect that's what you get.
Wow.
So yeah, so I mean, as we got older, eventually we started being like, okay, I'm gonna get X-Men number 357. I don't care if you have it already. I'm 16, I'll buy whatever I want. So but when we were little kids, it was like, this is what you're reading. So yeah.
Thank you, Hothead. Thank you for coming on. Hell yeah.
Hey, what's up, Hothead?
Yeah, I see him a lot in the George Peter got his chats.
I know music is a big influence on you, Jason. Was it
Yeah.
was that did that kind of overshadow the comic book thing for you?
Hey, there he is. No,
Yes.
the music didn't overshadow the comic stuff, but it did play in part to my art stuff, my fine art, illustration stuff, and painting type stuff, or watercolors. It would seep through into that maybe, but not the comic stuff. The comic stuff is just what I'm inspired by in comics in general. So yeah, and Inkspots has been working for a long time too on stuff.
Hell, ink
Can
spots.
you hear me all right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
Yeah,
We
you're
yeah.
can.
saying great, man.
Okay, I just
Good to have you.
bought a new mic, so
It's a little tinny. It's a little tinny, but
At least we can
okay.
hear you. That's
Yeah,
important.
yeah, I just plugged it in like 5 seconds ago. So
Oh, it works
yeah. I told
good,
him they were
man.
having mic issues, man.
cool.
A
What's up,
evil
guys?
robot.
What's up, man?
So, ink spots. Tell me something about you, pal. How long you been drawing comics or coloring comics?
About 5 years. I'm about 5 years in comics. Before that, I had about 20 years trying to break into the children's book market. So
And
I've
how
been
how was
freelance.
that, Ink? I mean,
Oh
the
yeah,
children's market. Were you pretty? Is that hard to
Fairhead.
get into, or
Yeah, it's really hard. It's way harder
really?
to get into than comics. So it's
Really?
probably the most gate kept area of art that there is. Like you must be gay, trans, or a black woman
Oh.
if you want to write children's books.
And sadly, that's probably what it is. Was that what it's always been, or is this just what it is now?
I think it's always kind of been that way because children's books and the kid lit market is really closely tied to like education and stuff. And
You got to get them while they're young.
yeah, education has been dominated by that
That's
sort of
true.
thing for a long time. So it's just really gate kept, and also there's only a few markets to get into. So I worked at it for 20 years, and I got to like a mid tier level, which is usually like educational books. So I would illustrate books for like math books and things like that, but I couldn't get into what you want to get into, which is like the trade books. So trade books are like the fun books you read, like kids go to the library that they actually want to read them. So that's where the money's at, and that's really hard to get into.
Well, Ink, what is your? I know some of Jason, like Sam Keith and other artists like that, have influenced him. What were some kind of? And speaking of Sam Keith, Make Me Big here, Apex.
Oh, yes. Okay. That's what
Oh.
she said. All right.
Yeah, Make Me Big. Whisper in my ear. I had to show Jason this. I showed this on my show today. This is not too old. I don't know what year, but Marvel. Sam Keith cover.
Oh, B-sides. Holy crap. I've heard of
Oh, yeah.
B-sides.
It's pretty
Look
sick,
at that.
man.
All right.
Oh, damn. I'm going to go to Second and Charles tomorrow. It's a buy 5, get 5 free comics. All
yeah,
the way.
you might want to get that if you don't have
If
it.
I can find it.
If you
Oh,
can
yeah.
find it, right?
Yeah.
That's number one. Number one at
Oh,
B-side.
that'd be so
Yeah.
cool.
That's pretty cool, man.
I love Sam Keith's independent stuff. I mean, his early independent stuff that he did. I mean,
Mhm.
up to now, and
The big and
anything Sam Keith, it's great.
Yeah.
hey, hothead and parrot heads in here.
Yes,
We got a lot of
parrot
heads
head,
in here.
There's some heads. Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Any dead heads? Do you like dead? Jason? Do you like?
Grateful
Nope.
Dead.
I didn't think you did, but I had to
No.
ask. Yeah.
Jason
No,
hasn't
I
liked
don't.
a band
No,
since
no.
NSYNC, so.
I love how he shakes his head like. Do you like
No.
Santana? Do you like Santana?
Yeah, I don't mind them.
Yeah.
Little Black Magic Woman. all
Jesus
that
is
stuff.
just
Oh,
all right
Santana.
with you. Oh yeah.
Any updates
yeah.
on Devil Flyer? I'm interested in the art and story behind it. It says Hi-Hat Studios. What's the
Double?
update on
That's
the book?
Oh, the update on Devil Flyer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting artwork done for that. I have Big King drawing a couple of stories for me, and Apex Comics is going to do a Sea Demon story for me here pretty quick. And let's see, because it's an anthology. It has six stories in it. The Ashcan will be coming out here just very quickly. I'm waiting to get the other campaign up, but and the ads just came out for Alterna for it. I placed 7 ads in 5 of their books, so
Nice.
give
Yes.
people, a chance in the comic book shops and other places to buy into it if they want it. And everybody will get 2 books, but I'm thinking, okay, maybe not the same book. We'll see.
No.
I may put together a second book to go out with the Ashcan,
Ashley,
and it'll be
hey.
Ashcan
Yeah, sure.
size too. So I have artists working on stuff. Hockey did a 2-page story for me, so it's all coming together really nicely.
Oh, man, that's cool, man. Yeah, I've yet to get a script. I'm sure you're still working on and stuff, so I'm patient. So.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get the 2 reference pieces for you now, but
That'd be cool.
one of the references has to be drawn first.
Oh, yeah, I like to have a little model to go by.
Yeah,
That'd be
Because your
great.
story is going to tail end off of one that Vic King
Yeah.
draws.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This would be fun. It's like I'm working with Vic in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Indirectly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're pals on the YouTube.
Yeah, I'm having him skip to his last page, the splash page, but also the last page. I'm not having him
Yeah.
do that first.
Yeah.
And then so that we can get you that reference,
Yeah, I
And
need
he
a
already
reference.
has a good piece. He's just got to scan it and send it to you, so you'll know what the character looks like.
That'd be great. Yeah, I did a pencil rendition of it.
Yeah. Now I like the one where you had spikes
Had the
coming
blade.
out.
Yeah, the blade coming out of his.
The blade
almost
coming
like a
out,
Wolverine style, but it's with like stalactites.
Yeah, and actually that
See,
giant
that'd be
eel
cool.
is going to work into the story.
Yeah,
You're
the
going to
giant
have
eel
him
with
battle
big-
that giant eel that you drew in that piece.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And that worked out great for the story.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Kill Dragon and Blood Dragon were going to split into two characters, kind of like the Brothers Grimm. Do you remember the Brothers Grimm, Jason, from Iron Man?
Oh, no.
They were like
Grimm's
twins.
the actual Brothers Grimm.
Yeah.
Tales.
No, I mean in Marvel.
Oh, okay. No, I don't remember.
It kind of reminds me of the Superman Red, Superman Blue.
Okay.
Sort of like that, in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I didn't. I wasn't an Iron Man reader. So.
Okay. Well,
I pretty much have everything.
Really listen to your chat, because they gave me a great idea for a character. I did not create the character. My friend over in Tennessee created the character, and his tail gets blasted off in a battle. A bit of the tail, and then it's sinking in the ocean, and that's where your more eel comes in. He eats part of that and mutates, and but the tail becomes blood. Apex, you liked Blood Dragon as a name for the character, because we took a vote, but it was a tie. And then somebody suggested, it might have been Tree Goblin, I can't remember. He said, why don't we make that, why don't you grow something from his, cut his tail off, and the other one grow from the tail? And I said, that's great. It'll be like the Brothers Grimm,
Yeah.
And because they were twin monsters. And so one's green, one's red, and Hell Dragon gets his... Hell Dragon? Blood Dragon, rather. That's a pretty good name. I might have to make a third Hell Dragon.
We got triplets now.
Triplets, right. Like Triplicate Girl, and then becomes, Kill Dragon. And so he's got two of them he's got to battle at some point.
Damn, that's cool. Hey, so anyway, guys, I know Absolute Books 1 and 2 are out now, of course. And now, how did the Frog G book come about?
Frog, you want to answer that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a tier on the Absolute 2 campaign to be drawn as a card, an affected card. It's a character in the world of Absolute-ish, but not in the story of Absolute. And this card would be made and distributed to everyone who backed the campaign for Absolute 2. Now, me and Jason worked back and forth to come up with a design concept for the Frog G character, which you're seeing as my icon right here. We settled on it. We kicked it over to, Jason kicked it over to Inkspots, and Inkspots worked some hellaciously amazing magic and came up with this color scheme in the background and everything. And that got released for everyone to see, and there was a demand, almost a screaming at the gates demand for a Frog G book. And at that point, we all got together and we're just like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Wouldn't it just absolutely rock if Frog G just became a huge hit like Reaper Destroyer or one of these other books, man?
Yeah. I mean, you don't
That'd blow my mind.
You don't want to set your hopes too high, obviously.
I know, you're right.
You don't want
right.
to,
Right.
Well,
be like, oh, this is gonna get. Look at what happened to Sean Gordon Murphy. He's like 500K, and he.
Nah, you're like 200.
So,
yeah.
I mean, we get 250K. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
but
still pretty good. Yeah.
But you don't want to. We're hoping this does well enough that it can pretty much be like, okay, we can feasibly do this as a full-time thing if we do another campaign and have it be even more successful. So it'll slowly, snowball.
Slowly build.
That's
right.
So
Ink doesn't want to starve while he's trying to break into comics.
Well, Inkspot's like obviously he's got plumbing. It definitely pays the bills, but it's brutal on his body. Like he went through. Tell him what you went through this week. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I almost couldn't draw the whole week because my hands and arms were so swelled up from the amount of work I was putting in, 15-hour days.
Wow. Holy mackerel!
So my job is extremely physical. So this is a chance for me to I've been trying to be an artist for, like I said, over 20 years, just trying to break in the door and try to do it full time. So yeah, it would be great if it did, finally happen. So I love the way that Jason's work looks, and I like to color it. So I think it's a great team. So.
Yeah,
Now, when you did your child, not to get off the subject, but I'm intrigued by the children book thing, that when you tried to break into that, were you writing your own thing, or were you just trying to be a colorist within that field?
No, I never was a colorist. I did some fan art for EBS where I colored a piece of his work.
Right.
And he called me a colorist, and then I just was one after that. So
He
he
gave
kind
you
of
a
made
job.
me.
Yeah, not too many people
Nice.
actually do realize out there that Inkspots is a phenomenal illustrator on top of everything. So
Yeah.
he's the full package. I really love his style. And he's got Metal Mayhem Rock Boy that he's been working on for a bit and refining it, and it's just awesome. And I have some original art of it.
Metal Man
Oh.
Rock Boy?
Yeah, that's gonna be my own
Wow.
original character that I'm working
I
with.
like that.
Yeah.
Shit,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
And
catchy
so
name.
that's after Frog G, unless Frog G takes off, and then even if it
yeah,
doesn't
man.
become the hit that we wanted, I'm hoping we can at least do one more book. Hopefully, we can make enough to make that happen at least.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to see what happens. So if you guys
Yeah.
want more Frog G, you gotta buy Frog G. So.
Yeah. And
Awesome, Frog G. Sign
the
up
great-
today, folks.
Yeah.
Frog G.
I mean, right now, I think we've been. I don't know how long, like when I exactly launched the sign up, but it's about a month in, and we're at 196 signups.
oh, that's awesome, man.
It's pretty good. Like I just checked, we were at 190, I think, 2 days ago. So
There you go, Jeff.
Nice.
we got a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and the great thing about Frog G Voodoo Gods and Magic is everything that we create in that, like with Frog G and all the characters and stuff. Frog, because of this wouldn't happen without the man up there. So everything, even outside of that, whether from gaming to side characters, if they get their own spin-off, Frog G gets a kickback of it. So
Hell yeah.
it's just
Well,
like
he
a
could
true,
be the banker, right?
right. This
Money
is a
could
true,
go to
like
him.
created by a fan, involved with other creators, like just brought to life. It's a great project that was formed out of nothingness. That I think everybody's gonna love, and Ink has been working really hard on like a concept, storylines, and stuff like that. And then we'll go in a Discord backstage, lay out panels, flow it out. And I don't know if you want to give them a quick rundown of what it's about.
Yeah.
Ink?
Hey,
So,
Mo Mix. Thanks
we
for
can-
coming in.
What's up, Mo?
We can do the pitch real quick.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead, do it. Ink.
So Frog G is about a man who is cursed by a voodoo priestess and told by Death himself to go down into the depths of hell and basically kill a god if he wants to be restored, to win back his humanity and the woman he loves. Basically, what we're trying to create here is the action, the adventure, just like the feel of Spider-Man, with the concept and the story of pretty much like Hellboy.
Mhm.
So he's going on an epic adventure. He's gonna meet gods. There's gonna be voodoo. There's gonna be Native American folklore in this.
Yeah.
Celtic folklore, like everything you can think of. We're throwing it all together and we're turning it into one cohesive story that's just gonna be fun. We got so many great characters. We have a witch called the Baba Gaga, who is a headless witch that collects the heads of the fallen that she kills, and she wears them like hats. And then Jason, I was telling this concept that Jason's like, what if not only does she not have a head, but she's missing a leg, and her wooden leg, her prosthetic leg, is her magic wand. And so we just like throw stuff together, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. And the Baba Gaga is a real Celtic folklore like deity, and so I looked up because I was trying to figure out who we wanted one of the villains to be. That and then when I kind of did my research, I found this old Celtic folklore about this witch, and I was like, yeah, that works, and that's how all the characters start. And sometimes I'll do a sketch, send it to Jason, and he'll be like, nah, let's do this, and he throw a bunch of eyeballs on it, and then we got death, and and so he's got bat moth wings on the side of his head, and 3 sewn shut eyeballs, and then a bunch of eyeballs. We just do anything that's cool, man. And it's rock and roll. And
Whatever's
Are you
fun.
co-writing it together? Are you and Jason co-writing?
oh yeah, Like you said, we get in the Discord and we just figure the pages out, and he does the thumbnails.
This is I actually haven't gone into the
Promiscuous time traveler. Hello.
Yo, what's going on, time traveler?
So who's going to do the final dialogue? You both going to kind of work on that together after the art is done?
Yeah, both of us.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we haven't gotten that far yet, but obviously we'll spitball one off of each other and bounce back and forth. And, like what if Inkspot says, have her say this. And I'm like, well, what if it's cool if she puts it this way? He might be like, yeah, or he might be like, you suck. I haven't finished it. I've had this line.
It's good.
Yeah, this is the Baba Gaga concept. I'm actually, instead of the eyeball here, I'm actually going to have it so it's like a suction cup with teeth. So that way she can suction on the heads.
The different heads that she tries on.
Oh my God, I'm so buying this. I'm going to buy 2 or 3 copies of this.
Yeah, suck a bit.
And then there's your magic wand pressed in.
There's a magic wand leg. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Fancy Victorian dress, and stuff like that. So this is who our man upstairs up there is Frog G is gonna be fighting. He's gonna face off against him.
Whatever you're smoking, I would like some of it, please.
We're gonna really play up the comedy on this too, like
and that's
she tries the different heads on, like they're like their hats. They're like, it's great.
And the good thing, I'll sketch this up, but Ink might be like, well, what if you put this in there? And I'm like, that's cool. And then I'll maybe be like, what if I add this on the end of this? And then it's like, because you have 2 creatives working together, and it just flows. Usually we bounce back and forth. Like, we can go on forever probably on one character if we really wanted to. We got to stop at some point. But, it's really fun. Like, he came up, have her, try on heads. And the vision popped into my head of an eyeball at first for her, to see everything because she didn't have a head. But then I was thinking something else and something else and something else. So it's a true collaboration.
Are you going to be, working digitally and then printing that out and then inking that? How's that going to work?
Yeah. That's as far as that'll get as far as digital. I'm going to print that out and I'm going to ink it. This is page 5, I think, ink of but this is as far as I'm going to get with the digital. This is it. After that, I'm going to go in and add all my hard shadow. I did it here for my own purposes, but I'll even ink over this. But I'll add in my hard shadows, my cross hatching. I might even add in more little things here and there, little Easter eggs or whatever, and add more details and things like that. So there's really not much digital involved in it. It's just really this is like a dark blue line, so to speak. It's really no different than a blue lining and printing it out.
Yeah, it's probably easier for you to see, right?
Yeah, I just have to see it as the thing. So,
absolutely, man. Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you want me to give them a sneak peek of the page I'm working on now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it.
And while you're setting that up, I want to ask Frog G a question. Frog G, is there anything you want to see specifically in this?
That's the stuff that I want to see in this has actually been discussed with Jason and Ink, and that's a secret. Okay. It's going to be awesome, though.
Okay, so you've had a little bit of input in that with these guys?
Yeah. I discuss with them, and based on how we work this out, it's very these guys are the creative ones on this, and they're doing a phenomenal job. I'm very happy with everything I'm seeing so far on it, and I honestly I couldn't ask for better guys on this campaign, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm along for the ride.
And if I'm not mistaken, Frog G made his first appearance on Trading Card with Absolute 2 campaign.
That's
right.
Yes,
I got
correct.
the card. Oh yeah. That's so good.
Well, Frog G has the original art of it, so and that's a great thing. He has the original art, so Frog actually got to see what I do, and then he has the 8.5 by 11 printout of it as well. So he has a bigger high res print of it. So he says what Inkspot adds later. So it's crazy the amount of stuff. I'll think of one, I'll draw something, and it'll be envisioned in my head one way. Ink will get a hold of it, and he totally flips it, and I'm just that's better than what I even thought I would put.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Head Studios has a question. What program did Jason use for that digital layout?
It's just Photoshop.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very simple when it comes to Photoshop and inking. I do the Todd McFarlane method where I use the hard round. I squeeze it and tilt it. That's it. It's a basic brush. And Inkspot is sharing the. He's got his.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We love to.
Oh shit.
And you kicked him, so that's.
Oh
the
damn
way-
it! I'm
that's always
sorry.
good,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I guess you don't need ink spots on
Wait
this.
a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Ink.
Oh god, I'm sorry. I thought you had some from his share.
There you go, Ink.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you just gotta make him bigger because he's got.
Oh,
he's
okay, yeah.
using
Oh, okay,
OBS.
yeah. My bad.
Okay, so Jason showed you his rough layout, and then
This is
after
the-
he does that,
this is the inked
his,
one.
Yeah.
this is what he goes in and does by hand. He does all this patina and everything on there.
And you
so.
print that out on Bristol board?
Well, okay. Well, no, it's on a. It's on a. Yeah, Bristol board. Sorry, but yeah, there's this micron cross. This is traditional work because I go over everything.
Right.
So there's traditional work. There's whiteout pen and everything like that.
Yeah, you like to use whiteout. Now, I have yet to find a good white. What do you recommend?
Posca pens.
So
Okay.
if you want to put that up again, where he's asking about realistic oil
Yes.
brushes,
Yeah. Realistic.
I actually have a Gumroad, and you can download my oil brushes that I actually made for Cash Grab, because Cash Grab has a lot of oil textures in them, and you can download those for free.
Oh, you
so-
color Cash Grab, right?
Yeah, I colored Cash Grab.
Oh, nice.
Not that
Yeah.
you'll ever see it, but
Yeah,
I did.
yeah,
For
right.
real, I did.
I bet.
I'm almost going to be disappointed if that ever comes out.
Yeah, really. You know.
So
Oh, man,
I'll get
we'll
this
see.
from Jason, and then I will go ahead and add my little bit of magic to it,
Yeah.
and that's kind of.
This is the first time I'm seeing this, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
When you
So
gonna
I was-
add your magic to it? I don't see it.
So
Hey,
do
I
all
can do
this
it. You
little-
can't.
Oh, okay. No, it looks great, Ink.
Yeah, so I'll do stuff like that. Add in a
Now,
little-
now look at that. He changed
Good.
the border. He had a straight line border, and then you kind of did a curvy crackle type thing.
Yeah, I want to do a.
Look
at
I didn't color her, like I wanted to do like her. She's angry, so I made it red and just
Yeah.
kind of made it like
That's
that
sick,
color
man.
and stuff.
I
she
love
is.
it.
That's
See, this is
so
what I love.
good.
This is the kind of collaboration I'm talking about. Like, I wouldn't have thought to have done that, but it's a fantastic idea, and he
Yeah.
put it in there
Yeah.
and added.
Show
to
the
it.
energy and break it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just
I'm
like
gonna have
do
to hire
some of
ink
this-
spots to color Fem, but that's
all these skulls and stuff in here.
Well, good luck
Yeah.
with that.
yeah. If he's around.
Yeah. Did you add take the color layer off for a second?
Okay.
Stay there where
So
you're at, though.
what does her shirt?
Okay.
Her
Yeah, I
what
like
does
what you
the
did with her
breast
face.
say?
Oh, okay. You can turn the colors back on. No, there's it's a kind of an inside joke of myself only that
okay.
only like people on Facebook would know. Years ago, one of my professors, he would post photos on artwork online, and it would be at 2 a.m. And I would post artwork, and he started using the hashtag fresh pots, FRSHPTS, because you make fresh pots of coffee to stay up for hours on end at night.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
fresh
so
pots.
I put it on her shirt.
That's awesome.
cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
so
wasn't
look,
sure what that was.
yeah, it's just a tongue-in-cheek joke, but that's beautiful, dude. I love what you're doing.
And
Promiscuous has a question. Where do I download the brushes?
I'll get that link, and if you go over to my on Twitter at My Evil Robot, I'll post it on my wall there. And you can
My
download
Evil Robot? Is that what it is? Okay, yeah.
At My
should be-
Evil Robot over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be his @ on the screen. Yeah, it's on the screen right there. At My Evil Robot.
I'll post that just a little bit later, and then you can just go to the Gumroad and download those for free.
All right. Oh, here it is.
Yep.
And so we've
You got
just done
Frog
a
G's
bunch of
slinging the
stuff.
links down there, so like that's the thing. Frog G is also the link master, and so that the link comes in with the wrench, because you need a wrench to be a mod in a chat, and so that's where the wrench
Yeah.
also comes into play. And now the funny thing was, Frog didn't actually mention this. It was humorous. I drew the character and I showed it to Frog G, and he was like, maybe he could have a wrench in there somewhere. I didn't even think of it. I was like, that's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Right.
Yeah, that was the thing too, because he had a wrench, and so we came up with a whole story about these tools that he carries and how they get enchanted, and they all have different powers. And so he has all these tools, and they all do different things. They're all enchanted with different, electricity, fire, and maybe teleportation, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah,
He
we're
doesn't
still
know how to
developing
use them though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you've all seen Tank Ferret's Frog G that he put with Devil Flyer and some of the other CG characters the PC's working on?
Well, I didn't see that,
Oh.
and I didn't say you could do that.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
it's up top.
Yeah, I kind of wish he had asked me first.
yeah.
well,
Because
that's-
I don't own Frog G. Frog G, Inkspots, and me all have a stake in it. So
Yeah.
we kind of all three need to have the go ahead for somebody to really use the character, especially since Frog G, the mod, the man himself up there, came up with the character. So, you know, people have to be very careful with what.
And
they're
we'd
using it
really
for.
like Frog G's first appearance to be in a comic, in a Frog G comic, and not
Right.
nowhere else.
And granted, it was a trading
Right.
card, but we want it to be in a comic, like the comic first appearance to be in a comic. So.
Yeah.
Right.
I like Tim
Just
Ferritt.
'cause-
I love his artwork, but I really wish
That's
he
good.
came to us first. So
Mm,
yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, because you got things like Rainbow Brute ended up being in somebody else's book, before Rainbow Brute came out. We don't want something like that to happen. We want like the people to get what they're paying for. They're going to pay for Frog G, and he should be his first comic book appearance in his
Right.
first comic. So
Make it pure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if you signed up for the mailing list, you got this nice, cool wallpaper for your phone.
Mm.
And we're going to do one of these every month. And so if you sign up for the mailing list, you just get this in your email. And
you won't
I
now
actually,
if you sign. Sorry, go ahead, Ink.
I was going to say, I actually have it on my phone. It looks pretty cool. So.
Yeah, actually, a lot of my friend has it on hers. She doesn't even collect comics. But no, like if you had like signed up after I sent that out, like I'm sorry, it's a little late on that one. You'll get the next one though. So yeah, that's the incentive.
Yeah.
You got to get these things while they're there.
And so this is Jay. So I came up with
Yeah.
the death character at first, and I had the eyeballs on his finger. And then Jason came back. He's like, "Nah, that looks a little too like Beetlejuice, and so let's put the eyeballs like coming out of the bottom of his mouth." And then I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Oh
And
my God.
This version of Death is actually based on a Native American folklore where there was like the octopus people and the crow people, and those were their gods of two actual Indian tribes.
Wow.
And the octopus god was kind of like death. And
Is
so
this
it kinda,
the character with moth wings?
Yeah, so he has bat wings with moth wings on his head, and then his bottom of him, out of his robe, is octopus tentacles.
And
Oh
he
my
has
God.
stitched up eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, his eyes are stitched. His two eyes are stitched. The third eye is open. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Dang,
the third
dang.
eye on the forehead. Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
this might look scary and horrific, but this is an all ages book. Like you could be 13 and read it and love it. You could be 80, read it and love it. Like I know this looks kind of scary, but it's not. There's
going to be no sex, no graphic violence.
Right.
It'll be a lot of implied violence. We just want to make sure like anyone can read it. It'll be scary, like a fairy tale. Like the old fairy tales were scary, witches eating children and stuff. It'll be scary, but anyone can read it. It's not going to be adult themed or child themed. We're hoping to get it kind of right in the middle. Anyone can read it and enjoy it.
That's cool, man. Yeah, Hothead says, I'm in development of making a 5-page 3D comic, and my challenge would be adding backgrounds to panels that are not 3D. Jason may have provided the answer for me, so yeah, you got one answer.
Hey, there's
There you
always
go. All right.
there's always ways around things, and there's it's digital, so you can do a lot of things that you want to do. So yeah.
Yeah, Siamese in on that Tank Ferret poster, posing with Gun Demon. I'm not sure that's what I would have chosen, but I do like the both Siamese are there. All right, nice.
Yeah, like I said, I love Tank Ferret. Honestly, like even if he couldn't, like I know you could always reach Frog G somewhere. You know what I mean?
At
He's
least
in chat.
ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I had assumed that he had, and I know he's not publishing it yet, or
Right, well-
and I don't think he's going to publish it.
I don't want to make this like a huge thing on the channel. Like I said, I love
Yeah,
Tank. This is no animosity.
We love
towards Tank
fan
Ferret.
art and stuff. Just nothing.
As long
Nothing
as it's
can
not
be published.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
not published, go for it. I'm sure Frog G wouldn't mind being on there as well. What do you think?
Yeah.
Frog?
Yeah, I mean, I like Tank Ferret's artwork, so
I thought I would
I'm all for
mention it because he had it so prominent. He's like top of the heap. He's right up there by the logo, right in the
Like I
middle.
said, fan art's cool. Yeah, that's fine. I like I said, I do. I've been on streams with Tank. He's a great dude, and he's a phenomenal artist. I don't
Yeah,
want
he's a
it to
wonderful
sound,
artist.
yeah, I don't want this to sound like oh, I hate Tank. No,
Yeah, I know.
yeah. It's like if I were to use Cyberfrog himself, and like I could do fan art of Cyberfrog all day long. But if I were to put it in a book as a poster or something,
So
he'd be
this
furious.
was
There you go.
my original sketch of death right here.
Yeah.
Ah, she's
In
hot.
the
And
background.
then-
In the
and then-
background.
In the background.
Oh,
yes.
oh, never mind. Who's
She's a
Well,
character
did
in
you
the book too.
combine
I
two
take it back.
pieces? Did you combine two pieces? Because the woman in the foreground, didn't you draw that separate, Jason?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just say I the only thing I did on this piece was her. That's it. The woman in the foreground.
Okay.
I drew her. Like I said, Ink Spots will take something and he will totally twist
Embellish.
it and make it amazing. Like
Okay.
he'll add to it, and like
Wow.
he created a whole new character because of this piece that actually got involved in the book, and we expounded upon it and made it.
Yeah.
Like it's just great. Like I love
So
it.
this was the original, and see the eyeballs on the finger, and then Jason took it and he
That's
made it
Beetlejuice.
like
It was
way
really,
more horrifying.
it was really that woman, that last piece, that one there, that
Yeah,
told me, man, Jason's really leveling up for this project.
yeah, man.
Well,
I mean,
I mean-
I'm seeing you draw all kinds of things that I've not seen you draw
Absolutely.
before. That in absolute,
Well, I mean, it's a different character. It's an attractive, very beautiful black woman.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they got to have certain features, and I wanted her to look hot, but I also wanted that little Sam Keith vibe in there too, because everyone
Oh, it
knows I love
does.
Keith. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sam Keith
so-
will be proud.
yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to be Sam Keith, but it's just
No.
an influence. So, I mean, like. If Sam ever comes over to CG, I'm screwed. But but no, this is the other thing. Like Ink Spot's colors work perfectly over my line work. They really do. Like
do.
I don't know if traditional comic book coloring would go well with what I do. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to put different textures and things in, and his work already has so much
Yeah.
texture in it, and it just
Yeah.
starts gives you, and like he'll do cool stuff like this too. Like the comic's gonna be like what we want to do, like what Jason wants to draw. He may draw Frog G a certain way, but then he may want to add a cartoony aspect to it
Yeah.
for storytelling or something. And so he can just do that, and then I'm just gonna go with it, and we're gonna see where it takes us. That's
Right.
Yeah,
That's
we
the-
both
Yeah.
love art, so
Yeah, that's the thing. This comic book is art based. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I love
is.
90s comics. I love 80s stuff, and I love stuff that are like Reaper Destroyer or Cyberfrog, where it's that traditional comic book feel to it. But man, I love stuff that's just like it has like a certain grit and art to it that
Mhm.
like it's not. It could be in an art book
That's
or it
cool.
could be in a comic book. Either which way.
you like
I love it.
texture in your
Yeah.
stuff.
I like something with feeling. Like I like to like. This is why I like using pen and ink, like dip pen and ink, because I like to like
Yeah.
you can touch it and feel like that. There's pieces that could just fall off of this if you like are too rough. Like I love it, man.
Well,
So-
the one thing that impressed me about digital artwork, because we were talking about that, was the lighting effects, and definitely ink's got some lighting effects on these that you couldn't do in traditional. But you mentioned just a second ago about an advantage of digital art. Can you elaborate on that? What you think the digital allows you to do? I know it allows you to work in different layers and things, but can you elaborate on that a little bit more? How it kind of
Yeah,
helps
ink can answer that actually better than I can.
Okay.
I mean, I do both, just like Jason does. But
Right.
of course, the main thing with digital art is you have unlimited undos. Mistakes don't have to be made on the original artwork. You can have a layer, and you can just try things out, see what works. But you can't get, as hard as you try, you will never get the feel in digital like you will in traditional. There's just that happy accident in the way that paint splatters, the way the ink splatters, the way the line rips the paper when you run your crow quill across it and makes it a little bit jaggy. Those are the kind of things that you can't get with digital that you can only get with traditional. So I do like putting both together. I think putting them both together, it gives you the best of both worlds. So on this comic, I am going to do Jason's doing some traditional on it when he inks it and everything, and I'm also going to be doing some like acrylic paintings and stuff that are actually going to go in the backgrounds of some of these comic pages. And so, like I said, we're going to try to get really super creative with it and just throw texture and try to like do color themes, that kind of put emotion through in the work, things like that. So.
Yeah. And also, we also have the supplemental where we're kind of working backwards. Only like Inkspots is drawing it; he's doing the line art for it, and I'm inking it.
Show you some of
Yeah,
that.
show him some of that.
So,
thanks for coming on, Dojo Con.
Thanks, Dojo.
Thanks for coming on, man.
So I'll send Jason. These are my digital pencils. So I do a digital pencil. This is a 2-page spread. And so I'll send my digital pencils like this to Jason. And then Jason will get in there. Since the supplemental is going to be black and white, so there's no color, so we're kind of swapping it out. And then Jason goes in there and does this awesomeness on top.
Wow, that's so cool.
And another reason why sometimes it gets different and distorted from what ink puts down is because, once again, it's my vision. I can't really see some of the details or like make out things, so I'm like, I'll just make this and put this in there. And so sometimes it works out, and I'm like, man, I hope I didn't mess this up, dude. So it's fun, and ink has fantastic, conceptual ideas, line work. It's already great layouts. He's a very talented cat.
Yeah, I'd say, damn.
So
yeah, the supplemental's gonna be great.
I'll show you
yeah, man.
So
That's
I'll
great.
show you the page before too. So
Yeah, this is page 1 from the supplemental.
Ooh.
This is like way rougher, and then I find the finished one. So I'll send that over to.
It has a biscuit
Jason
vibe to it.
Look at that. From that rough, and then he just like. Bam.
He did a comic called Tyrant with dinosaurs in it. Stephen Bissett.
Oh yeah, Tyrant.
Yeah, Tyrant.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've got three
has a good vibe to it, like his,
Yeah, Bissett, man, he's really good.
Bissett,
the supplemental is going to be very fun, and we're actually having I don't want to announce who, but we have an artist that we have in mind to do the cover for the supplemental.
Nice.
So yeah, he said yes, but we don't want him to forget her if he's too busy down the road, So
yeah, we don't
but
want
the supplemental's
to
fine.
force his feet to the fire or anything.
I bet still Keon in it.
No, it's not. But no, it's somebody we both call friend, and he's an extremely talented cat. So
cool.
So
all right.
So yeah, but I love inking over Inkspots and stuff. And Frog G, the supplemental isn't about Frog G; it's about the main baddie. So
Sir Nuno.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sir Nuno.
Now that he dropped that hint, I'm gonna guess Dan Plegel, but
You can guess all you want. I'm not gonna say yes or no.
Boob Dan.
So yeah, Sir Nuno's is a great character. He's going to be the big bad at the end of the whole series, and this is just his origin story. And so we get to see how it started out and how he becomes evil and how he gets where he's at in issue 1 of Frog G. So that'd be great.
I have a terrific idea for a next Dan Plegel book. How to draw great, beautiful boobs the Dan Plegel way. There you go.
Actually, if you go back and watch him on howtodrawcomics.net, he actually does give a couple tutorials.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all I'm going to show at this time. I can't want to show anything else.
Thank
we don't
you.
want to show too much.
No, don't show too much. That's cool.
Well, also,
that was quite a
you
bit.
want to sign up
Fantastic.
because, not only do you get the wallpapers when you sign up, those are cool, those are fun. You get an all-foil trading card. You get links to secret perks, which you get all-foil trading cards. You get discounted rates on tiers.
Yeah, that's a really good one. You get a discount on the book.
Yeah,
and a big tier too. We're gonna give a big tier, like a tier that probably usually would cost like $250 to $300. We're gonna give you a big old discount on that if you have signed up for the mailing list. So
hell yeah, man.
Plus, Inc. came up with a great idea of this, where you have to sign up for the mailing list for this. But if we'll pick somebody at random, let's say they back like the regular $25 tier, let's say it's $25. If we pick you, you get bumped to the pretty much the best tier there is, like aside from
Yeah.
original artwork. But you're gonna get bumped to like the best tier, which is probably like a featured tier or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
kind of like a raffle. If you
Yeah.
have signed up for the Frog G mailing list on launch day, we'll have all those names, and we're gonna put those in a random generator, and whoever it pops up will get a big old. They'll get a tier upgrade. So you only
Damn.
pay, your $20 or whatever, and you get maybe a $150 tier. So
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's never been
Yeah.
done before, I don't think. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
So what are we looking at as a launch date loosely?
Yeah.
See,
What are
I
we
can't
shooting
say.
for?
All right. Here's why I can't say. One, I haven't discussed it with Ink yet. Two, well, we kind of discussed it, but not the exact date. But also, I told Bancroft I would tell him on his stream, which I will
Yeah.
be on June 8th, as well as Ink Spots if he's available.
And
Okay.
so what we're trying to do is get a.
Sorry.
We want to have enough pages. We're going to give out a free PDF with part of both stories, the supplemental and the Frog G book, so you can download the PDF and actually read. And it's going to be okay size, so
Hey, J1.
maybe 10, 12 pages. You get to read some of the story. It's see if you like it.
Okay.
Before you back it. So some people may do that instead of signing up for the mailing list, even though you're going to miss out on all the goodies. So we want to have enough pages to where we can just show a pretty good chunk of stuff, so people can see that we're serious about it. They should already know that about us because Jason's already put out a couple of books. I've already worked on tons and tons of books.
Not
and
seen
so,
print?
Yeah. No, well, only for a couple. But
Hey,
my
Charlie's
first work
London?
hasn't.
Yeah.
Charlie's
Yeah.
London came out.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
we
was
did that.
killer.
Hey,
Yeah.
Rob, do you know all the books that has come out for Ink with Ink Spots? Do you know
I
by chance?
don't know all of them off the top of my head. No, I know Charlie's London is the one that is out that's on my shelf right now.
Yeah,
I'm still
the
waiting
on
Art of John Malin I worked on for
Oh,
EBS.
damn, I have that. I've yet to look through it, so I'm going to look through
I
it.
paid
This is the thing.
extra actually on that campaign ink to get
Yeah.
your colored version of that cover.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing. Ink Spots has worked on all these campaigns that haven't come out, but that's not because of Ink Spots. His stuff has been done forever, so it's not like Ink Spots doesn't
true.
produce artwork.
I've also
finished-
worked on
He's quick.
3
Yeah.
books that I don't know if they'll ever come out because I think they so sometimes I'll get projects and I'll do them and then the book just never comes out. Like they never get the money or they just
It
decide not to
happens.
put it out. So
All right.
yeah,
This will
so
tell
I've
you
done that
also,
too.
not only does he actually produce work, but how fast he is. The card that is Frog G's current icon, I drew it up. I sent it to him. I'm like, hey, man, color it up. It's pretty much done. I think he hit me up like a day or two later, like, hey, I'm going to start this tonight. The next day, he sent me the final image. Like, he
Damn.
just
Yeah.
stayed up. Like, granted, that's not every piece he does, but he works fast. Like, he's quick and good. So, Cash Grab hasn't come out. All these other books haven't come out. It's like, that's not Ink's fault.
No, it's
Right.
not.
You can't control that. So
I sense a lot of passion in his work, too. I see a lot of it.
And that's the
Yeah,
thing. Like,
especially if I like the line
Yeah.
work. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll get into it.
Now,
Hey, Lorenzo Sleestack, hello.
now
Hey,
recently, Ink, you have taken a course on inking, right? You were doing like a white style a few
Yeah.
weeks back.
Oh, I do a lot of that. I think it's like most artists, like you never stop learning. So I'm constantly taking some, like I'll take concept art courses, I'll take oil painting, acrylic painting, watercolor. I love art. I mean, that's why like Jason always says he's an artist, and that's true. Like I see his work and I like the line work. I like the energy. I just like what he
Are
puts
those
down.
online courses that you're taking?
Yeah, I take like at Schoolism. I like sbslearn.com, and I'll even just find like an artist, and I'll see. I'll find an artist. Like he's a really great acrylic painter, and so I'll go to his website. And a lot of them guys are like me, and they'll have Gumroad, and you can go there, and they'll have a full painting course or something you can just buy with videos and tutorials. So I just do stuff like that constantly. I just always want to be learning and trying to move forward, and I think that's the only way. Like I say a lot of times that there are a lot of great colors out there, but they're process colors. They learn how to use a lasso tool, do flats, do a layer in overlay mode, cut and grad. It's
and grad.
process coloring that they've been doing in the mainstream for years and years and years. and that's great. I mean, there's a lot of great looking comics that are done like that. But what I'm saying is, you can take all those colors in the mainstream, and then take all the work they've done, mix it up into a big pile, and then try to go through it and figure out which work is which colors. And you won't, because it all looks the same, because they were all taught the same way. I want to do different stuff. I want to push, like, I want to make it to where when people say comic book colors, it's something that you get respect for. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my goal as a colorist. And I know there's a couple other ones, like Billy Basco really comes to mind. That he's the same way. He's trying to push forward with comic book coloring and make it something really special, like to where when you see it, like you see something I color, you can go, oh yeah, ink spots color that, and I'm not just piled in with everybody else. And
What
so
do you
that's kinda
think
my
about
thing.
Kyle Ritter?
I don't know. I like Kyle Ritter's stuff. I mean, I don't really like to talk about other artists and whether or not I like or hate them.
Right.
You know,
That's
it's just
kind of my
think it's
rule.
unprofessional.
I don't judge other colorists' work,
Yeah.
Especially on streams. If they ask me, I'll tell them and give my opinion.
Yeah.
That being said, I will say that Kyle and EVS are the perfect matchup. I
Yeah,
think
they're great.
Yeah,
team.
they are.
there's certain team ups of colorists and artists that just work together.
Like
And-
recently,
yeah.
I mean, I've always thought so, but I just watching him do his stuff, and I'm like, man, Billy is perfect for Plagal. Like just watching him work into play, because Plagal's phenomenal as it is. Like he's top tier in my opinion, like one of the best. And you get Billy to put some color on it, man. That combination, it hits all sensors, dude. It's gorgeous. But see, and that's the other thing. Like Ink was saying, that's those are artists. Like they're in it for the fine art of it, and also they want to tell a story, so they mix it together. And I'm not knocking any of the other guys. Like I love Ron Frenz. I mean, come on, I think he's great. He's not an artist. He's a basic line guy that does straightforward stuff. I like Jack Kirby. Straightforward stuff. It's not that's thing, but I'm just more drawn to those people like Plagal and Basco and Barr and all those guys. So
I like all artists where you can look at their work and you can tell who did it. Like they have a
a Bisley is a Bisley. There's no mistake
Oh
in
yeah.
Bisley.
Yes. There you go. Hey, so Jason, would this be your first colored book that you produced?
Yeah, it'll be the first colored book I produced. Like, because I even had a book before Absolute on Comixology that I drew up for a writer. Somebody wrote it. I drew it up. People can go try to find it. Frog might have a link for it. It's called Cannibal Detective. So if you want to, it's on Comixology. If you want to get it, hey, you could just throw that guy a couple bucks. I did it like 12 years ago, and you could tell my style's grown and changed. But it was fun for what it was. But that was black and white too, because I inked it, and he didn't have a color.
Okay.
So this would be my first full colored work. This isn't my first full colored stuff. I color my own stuff. Ink's colored my stuff. Matt Yackey's colored my stuff. So I've had a lot of other people color my stuff.
What is your feeling about gray toning?
I like it
with the black and white stuff.
Yeah, I like if it's done right. I mean, I've seen Dan Plagal gray tone his own work and look beautiful.
Yeah, like a Plagal. I would buy a Plagal gray tone book all day, any day. You name the time of day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about his current campaign. He offers you both, and I really couldn't pick between both because both are beautiful. I really like the black and white gray tone. I really do. But then Billy comes in and adds two, and they're both just gorgeous, different interpretations.
Now, something I mean, obviously, I'd have to look into it. What I would love to do is kind of an artist edition where you would have my inked pages of Frog G and then Ink Spot's colored pages, like
side by side, so you can compare.
And I think that would be something I'd have to look into to see, how it would produce in large format. So I want it to be 11 by 17, have it be a true artist edition.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't maybe contain the whole thing, mainly because that would be an insane amount of pages. But I think that would be really awesome to see, because, like I said, unless you're somebody like Frog G who owns the original, you don't really get to see what Ink Spots fully contributes to the book. You might think I draw in those backgrounds and he color holds it, and it's like, no, he's putting them in. He's putting in characters, he's adding things. So yeah. or he's blowing out my lines. And he doesn't
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
For
There's
that.
also some stuff like I'll paint over parts of his work that I want. Usually it's for contrast in the
Well,
image, so, yeah.
like that border, he had a straight border there, and then you added, basically obliterated that and made the deckled edge, for.
Yeah, do stuff like that.
Well, for the most part, a lot of it is almost improv. Like we'll lay it out, but he doesn't know what I'm going to do in the fine tuning part of it. So until he sees it, now that's not to say there won't be instances where I might shoot him something, and be like, hey, dude, what do you think? But for a lot of the times, usually we're just like, all right, this is the layout. All right, dude, I'm going to go do my thing. I draw it and I send it to him. Hey, man, do your thing, and he colors it. And we're like, hey, this looks awesome. So like. But he will sometimes send me something. Hey, do you think this works? Is this okay? Like, it's not every time, but because we trust each other, we know each other are very capable artists in our own right, and that we can do what we're doing to our full function. Now, we don't also want to dictate each other's things, and I know Frog doesn't want to sit there and see everything and be like, hey, what are you guys doing to this? You know, Frog trusts us with what we do. So
yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and we're thankful for it. So. So yeah,
leave some surprise for me. That's my goal.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's a surprise, but it's a great surprise. Like, it still works out. It's amazing because we both have our own vision, and together it just comes together to be this amazing project that we have going on here. Everybody should sign up for this. It's gonna be
probably
great.
Still fluid, but the page count. What's the page count we're kind of shooting for?
48 right now.
48 right now. Now, now that's not to say we may not have stretch goals that could extend it or whatnot here or there, but as of right now, we wanted to keep that 48-page CG indie format for reading purposes.
And the supplemental, I'm thinking, is going to be 20-ish in there somewhere.
Yeah, like standard.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's probably at least going to be at least one trading card on this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
well, there's already one if you've signed up for the mailing list, so that's one right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
we want to really just do some really great, talented people who are our friends that haven't got the recognition they really deserve. Like, we want some of them to do these cards, and they're going to be beautiful. We have a lot of great people in mind already. So
that's cool.
I mean, I will say one right now, Christopher John. Like,
Christopher John.
I think it's good. I like him.
To me, all right, I know, and I say this a lot, Christopher John is definitely one of the best, but also one of the most underrated because not too many people know him because he doesn't have a book out. He doesn't hide on purpose, but he's out there. He draws amazing stuff. He'll sometimes be on a stream, and it's beautiful what he can do.
And he doesn't have a book out yet because he's a blue collar guy like us. He's working
he needs to work
off,
Yes.
Yeah. And he's got a family, and he's a great dad. But his work's beautiful. Like, he did the guy with the wrecking ball. He did that trading card. Hey, Courtney. He did that trading card for me. He's done
some of the greatest Cecil pieces you'll ever see.
Dude.
He just did some fun stuff.
He did a Fragaboom with the bunny suit on. Frog remembers. It was so sick, man. Like, the guy is just amazing at what he does, and sadly, he can't get it. Like I said, he needs to raise his family and priorities, and I love him for it, man. And he works so hard. He works third shift. I can't get him on streams, but he's one of my close friends on this whole thing.
Yeah, he's cool.
I've been with Christopher John for years, ever since I've been in this. We've been friends. So he's near and dear. And anytime I have a project or anything, I want him on it in some capacity.
And we want Luke to do something. Death Metal Hero to do something for us. Definitely ain't gonna bug Plague.
And you had another great artist do your secret tier cover for Absolute.
Oh, well, that was on accident. That was on
accident.
Yeah, because Krager did the fan art piece, and he's like, "Hey, man, do whatever you want with it." I'm like, okay.
Another brilliant artist, Krager.
Another brilliant artist, though. I didn't ask him to. He just did it, and I was like, "This is amazing." He's like, just do what you want with it. And I made it into a cover.
Phenomenal. I mean, his portraiture and stuff.
And he's going to be even harder and harder to get to do, like, to get on projects for if you're not, like, you know what I mean, unless he's drawing your book. Just because he's so booked up with stuff with Hammer. Adam Lawson has him, like, booked up for years on end. So Krager's going to be definitely a hard person to get a hold of. So that cover is definitely going to be not valuable maybe, but treasured item. You know, people are gonna.
And
want
we,
that.
we
But,
do want to tell you guys to keep an eye out too, because we're going to have an auction before we launch, and the auction is going to help us pay for our alternate cover artist.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
the more money
Yeah.
we get, the better the better
Yeah,
we're going to be able to get.
Inkspots has been working on a lot of stuff, and one thing we definitely want to do is like I want to like just pencil something and send it to Inkspots to maybe watercolor it or paint it and do whatever. So it has my style in there, but his like painter style over it, and he's done it digitally a couple times and it looks gorgeous. So yes, we want to do that. We want to sell these because we've tossed names around backstages and stuff like that. We don't want to do it publicly, but we want to hire somebody that is amazing that nobody's had before. You know,
Yep.
like we love all these other guys. We would love to have any of these other guys. Like an EVS cover, forget about it. I'd love to have an EVS cover, but EVS has been done. I want somebody that nobody's has, and that's amazing. So we've tossed around some names.
I like that. You know, like the first time thing.
Yeah.
You know, introducing an artist. I love that.
There's a lot of good artists out there that just no one has seen their work before, and it's a good chance for us to just say, hey, you know, you're liking what you see on this one, and you may want to go check this artist out now too, because look at what he did.
Yeah,
I mean that's.
The more people sign up on that mailing list is going to give us an idea of kind of like how we're going to do it. At least it gives us some indication. It's like, all right, and this is what we can aim for. Like, okay, this people want this, and so if you would, I mean, it only takes a minute. Sign up for the mailing list. You get a discount. If you want the book, you get a discount. You get that trading card. It's just a really good deal. You get put in the raffle for the upgrade. So. Yeah, and like I said, that just gives us an idea of how many people are interested. And so if you could do that for us, we would really appreciate it. Tweet it out, put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Anything you can do, we'll appreciate it immensely.
Yeah, and it's the other thing, like not only that, like you got two creators, we've both done books and stuff, but this is a fan's idea. Like this is Frog G. He's one of you. He's a CGer. He's in the chats. He's a fan. He's somebody who never even thought of just doing a book, but it came about by accident, and he gets a kickback. He gets a percentage.
Yeah, he gets some money.
He gets money. So
absolutely.
So,
I'm a big fan of this one doing well, not just because I enjoy the concept here, but
and a great. I mean, some of that amphibian representation.
Amphibian
right?
money.
So imagine that. Like that was you. You were in the chat. You backed like a drawn-in tier, and then everybody clamored for it. You'd be like, oh wow, I kind of, this is amazing. I'm just a fan. He's a fan. He's he's somebody who loves all these books like you do. And actually, I should probably ask, how did Frog get into comics? How did he get into collecting? Like,
Frog, how did you get?
Yeah, or was it?
Yeah, how'd you get into collecting, Frog?
This is actually when I was growing up. I had a neighbor that was huge into comics, and he actually gave me a couple of double copies he had from some of them. So it started off with copies of Aquaman and Ghost Rider, and a couple of X-Men. And just kind of went from there. Went on hiatus, obviously, when I was in the service because there's not a whole lot of room on a ship. So
I figured you were in the Navy. I was in the Navy too. I served on the Nimitz.
I was on the Washington and the George Bush carriers.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Nice.
And
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What were you more of a Marvel DC guy or a little both?
I was a little bit of both on that one, but during the Navy days, I saw what they were producing, and I just lost interest. And then years go by, and then I found this, and there you go.
There you go.
That's sweet.
Cool, man. Yeah.
Now, how many of these big companies would make a Frog G book? None, except for Jason
Dark
and
Horse, Mike.
Inkpots.
Back in the
Dark
day.
Horse. Yeah, Dark Horse
Back in the
maybe
day.
would publish it. Yeah.
Well, from
back
your
in the day.
perspective, Frog, what do you think CG has really done for the creators? I know it's opened up an opportunity for people to.
Yeah, it's one heck of an opportunity. I mean, it's allowing people to actually compete based on merit as well as everything else. Like, have the good personality, have the skills, get your art out there. There is an audience out there. You don't have to work and worry about if Marvel or DC are going to pick you up. If that's the only way you had, Obviously, Dark Horse and the other ones as well. But this allows you to make your own book. What is it you want to do? Put it down on the page, or hire the artist you want as you can afford to make your story a reality.
Exactly. I mean,
Well said.
that's something I found on Devil Flyer, the larger, 48 pager, which may expand. I think it is that, I meet people like Jason, which I haven't been able to get yet, but he's a busy man. But now there's others that I've been able to hire, that I never expected that I was going to for this book. And I think I'll wind up with 6 different artists working on this one project. So that's just, and 5 of them are going to be from the community. So that's just awesome, to be able to work with these other creatives and have such a variety of different styles within this first anthology book.
I mean, this whole indie CG YouTube thing, it's amazing because we've all met through it and because of it. And like 3 years ago, like I was like, oh, I really hope one day I get into comic books, and then boom, you know what I mean? All because I met not only like-minded people, but extremely talented people who fortunately like my stuff. So it's an amazing thing, and it's, let alone meeting like people that I idolize, like Dan Fraga, who got me into this. I mean, I started hanging out with him for a while in the beginning there. It was fantastic. My mind was,
and that's where I first saw you, Jason.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's where I met like a lot of people, and it all stemmed from there. And actually, I met Ink Spots, I believe was it on Vinyart? Or was it on Lot 10?
It might have been Rotten Glory, but I think it was the first time we really hung out was on Shay's channel.
Yeah, I think I discovered you on Shay's channel, actually. Yeah.
Well, because I'm pretty sure Ink and I were on Rot 10s at one point in time together at the same time. So I think that's where we first met. And that Rotten was like 2 years ago. So.
Yeah, Rotten was, Ty was one of my really good friends. And he started, I used to have my own show called The Shit Show. And it was very early in CG. And Rot was my co-host on that. And then we started another show together, and then I kind of fell out of the YouTube thing, and then Rot just kind of took off. Yeah. And hopefully he comes back one day, because I really miss the guy. And
he was good for CG. Kind of discover the CG thing? I know Jason did through Dan Fraga, and then I kind of discovered Jason through
I'm probably just like the standard story, because I used to follow EVS drew my favorite comic, which was Green Lantern Rebirth, and so I followed EVS on social media, and then I would watch his YouTube channel, like back when it was like, I'm going to the art store to buy some pens or whatever, or he'd do commentary on the Green Lantern books,
or the draw streams, the early draw streams. That's what drew me in.
So I would just watch him, and he went right into the Comicsgate thing, and that's actually how I got in. And I did. He drew a Rainbow Brute, like the first Rainbow Brute, and I colored it, and I just tagged him in it. I wasn't even. I didn't even think he would respond, and he actually put it on his show. And overnight, I gained like 500 or 600 followers just because he had put me on the show. It was crazy. And then next thing I knew, I was just a comic book colorist. And so actually before CG came along, I was getting ready to just be like, I'm out of art. I'm just going to do it for my own pleasure. I've been trying for 20 years to do children's books. I can't do it. So I'm giving up. And then next thing I know, I'm doing comic books. So he kind of gave me a fresh start. So
how about you, Apex? I don't think I've ever asked you that. How did you kind of discover the CG thing?
Watching EVS.
Okay.
I didn't know what an SJW was until I went on Ethan's channel. I know what the
that might have been a good thing.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thanks for the warning, EVS. So
how about you, Frog G? How did you kind of discover Comicsgate?
I came in via Ricada Law and Pug, just going with some of the other stuff. So through that, and then through Raging Golden Eagle, and that was actually the first one I backed was Blade Devil.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was over a $300,000 campaign.
Yeah,
that's great. Played
Yeah.
that one,
Now he kind of had his own audience before he did that, right?
Yeah, I believe he still does have that audience,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's got one heck of a following, which
He
explains his
had
numbers
a
on that.
following, a
Yeah.
presence long before he ever did that.
Yeah.
Is it? Can you tell me, Frog? Because I've always kind of wondered that. Um, how did he kind of translate that over into a comic book? I mean,
Uh, as far as the audience into it,
I mean, did he see the CG thing going on, or is he kind of separate from CG? What's kind of his standing there, his view?
he uh he 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 see what the modern comic industry was doing, and that's kind
Mhm.
of part of his
Okay.
point, is pointing this out. And somehow he found out, I'm not sure of the whole story in this one, he found out about the independent ones are just like, we're done, we don't want any of this social justice stuff in our books, we just want to make our own stuff. And he's like, that's what I'm talking about. And he's had story ideas for a while and said, let's get some artists together and see if we can make a book. And he definitely delivered on that. It took a while, but he definitely delivered.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, and if anyone missed his campaign, I do know that he has it up again for the catch up for those that missed it.
A
It's a
second. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a second chance campaign. It's a
And
different
that seems
cover.
to be going good too. He's earned at
Yeah,
least over $5,000 on that second chance campaign. That's not too bad
yeah,
considering
and
that he did over 300,000. I mean, you would think, okay, everybody who's going to back it has backed it. Well, apparently not.
Well, I mean, you also, because time goes by, you get new people get introduced to things like, oh, this guy had a comic book out, I didn't know about that, even though it was
Right.
out
And
for like 2 years
they
before
get
that.
it in their hands and they review
Well,
it.
yeah, well, look at Absolute had been out for like a year. Absolute 2 had been out for like a year, and people were still just finding out about it, even
Yeah.
like right when I was closing it. So,
Right.
it's just you get new people, and the scene is growing constantly and constantly. And that's the thing about, like, Frog had said he had heard about like this stuff going on. You don't have to be CG to have the CG mindset. You just have to be like, I want to make a great quality book that is free of this like political crap and have it be a
Yeah.
fun story. That's, to me, is the CG like ideal. That's the idea. That's the concept. So you can be like, I'm not CG, but I have that. It's like, well, that's what we are. That's the mindset. It's like, so yeah. So if you have somebody, if they're CG or not CG, that really shouldn't be the issue. The issue should be, do you like quality books? That's
Yes.
yeah.
That's true.
Are you making your story for me to be entertained, or are you making your story to scold me about some view that you have?
Right.
So,
Are you trying to inject some kind of ideal
Yeah.
into your comic, some kind of concept that you're forcing others to want to believe in or something? It's like, no. Now, does this character have their own idea that they believe in? That's a different thing. Like Captain
Yes.
America, he has his own idea of what America is. But once you get somebody in there that is injecting Captain America with their ideas, that's no longer Cap's ideas.
It's
That's
not
something
Captain
else.
America.
What it's really taken me in a direction that I didn't think I would go. I wasn't hot on doing an anthology. I wasn't hot with working with others. Yeah, although, I had the main story done by a friend of mine. Um, but now collaborative wise, I'm finding, all these things that I was kind of resistant for, because you're like, well, I want to do this comic book all by myself. I want to be proud of something I produced, and yet I can still be proud of it and interact with others. My mindset's kind of changed while, having to, put out a book. It's kind of shifted. I don't know if that happened to any of you, but I know for me, it was kind of like I want to do it myself, but I am doing it myself, just in a different manner than I had originally envisioned. I kind of had to broaden my perspective.
I like the collaboration because I
Yeah.
feel like it's like in the old days when they had like comic book studios and a bunch
Yeah.
of guys would work on something together. So I kind of like that aspect. Just it's also good to have more than one person, and you have these two creative minds that just like Jason and I come up with different things. Like he said, he'll send me something thinking something completely different, and I'll send him something back, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I didn't even think of that. So,
And I know that's not
That's
talked
great.
about, but a lot of the successful comics were done in-house where you had everything. And that was kind of like CrossGen. They had everything in-house.
Yeah.
If you needed some clarification with the writer, you could go to his cubicle and talk to the
Mhm.
writer. If there was a coloring problem, you could go to the colorist. They were right there. Or an inking, something you needed to ink.
Yeah,
They
it's like
were
the
all
Well,
right there, but I see
original
this
bullpen.
YouTube thing as like you can get in Discord, like you talked
right.
about, or and then collaborate together. It's kind of being in house without being in house, isn't it?
Well, I'm also a firm believer in collaboration is great. Too much collaboration can hurt. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if like it's mainly like Ink and I developing the story. If, like Frog can see it, he can see what's happening, and maybe he might even be like, "Look, dudes, I don't want to be like a transgendered frog." Like he might could say that, he could say that, but he's not. Don't worry. But anyway, but if you have too many like hands in the pot, it's it can get wrecked. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
collaboration is good, but even like Athlete was just done by me, but that was just an accident. I had nobody else to work with. I got lucky. I got really lucky actually. But Frog G is going to be fantastic because you got two amazing creators. Because I am amazing, working
Of course.
on one project. So
it's true.
it's true. It's true. So yeah, but and
But
yeah,
we're
you got
collaborating, but we give each other like a lot. Like we'll go in Discord. We'll get the. I mean, he's just putting down a couple of scribbles. I have no idea what it's going to look like until I get it.
It's
And he has
funny,
no idea what
I
it's going to look like
apologize.
after I get it.
The funny thing is, I'll put down a couple scribbles. This happened like a couple of times in the beginning. I put down a couple of scribbles, and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'll make it look good. Don't worry, don't worry." And then like 2 days later, I'll hit him up like, "Dude, I totally forgot what this was supposed to be. I can't make heads or tails of it." I even asked Frog what he thought it was going to be. I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what this is. What is this?" I'm like, "I can't make heads or tails."
now I make him make notes though.
Well,
Like,
that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing I've seen about you, Jason. I know on the first campaign, you sent out some of that early stuff. I know you ran through that and sent out most of that you used to work on during the, years. And your imagination, you have such an imagination of coming up with, I don't know what this is, but I'm doodling it anyway,
Well, those are the free flow art things. Comic
Yeah,
book
free flow.
panels. Well,
Yeah.
the comic panels need to be a little more precise, so they need to be pre-thought out. But yeah, but I would like draw the layout, and Ink has seen it, and I feel bad because he sees it, and I know he has no idea what I'm doing, but I kind of know, so I apologize to him. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I know it looks horrible. I know this looks terrible. You got to trust me. It won't look like this. Like I've even drawn like almost stick figure like things in like profile view. And like just like it's like side scroll looking, and then I gave him that first panel on that one page that he colored with her like giving him the backhand. That looked totally different in the layout. Like I was.
Well, I'm going to say something controversial here. Not every artist has an imagination.
Some of
I
them
mean,
are jobbers.
Here's the
and
thing.
and there's fine art and there's commercial art. And I know this is kind of commercial art, but commercial art can be artistic too.
Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know. I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I got out of comics for like a good 10, 12 years, and I was just drawing like weird off the wall stuff, fun stuff, whatever came into my head, or I'd like maybe plan it out real loosely, and then like if it got screwed up, I'd just go with it. But I got out of the comic books, which are more of a tight. You need to think about it. Like, you need to be creative and think about it. It's where you just need to be creative. So, and Ink has done like he'll just go off the cuff. I've seen Ink do it. He'll just start painting, and next thing you know, he's got a beautiful piece, and he just did it right then and there. He didn't lay it out like 2 days ago. He just did it right there. So it's because we like the art of art, like, and a lot of people grew up reading comics. They know anatomy, they know form, they know this position there, that position there, and so they mainly think about humans and their in relation with their environments and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with this at all. Like, I wish I could draw like a lot of these guys do, but they also don't think like just like, okay, well, there's nothing there. What can you put in there? Like, it's a blank piece of paper. Just go. And 9 times out of 10, they might draw a person or something like that because that's what they're used to. So, like I said, I'm not knocking anybody that does that. I wish I could draw like a lot of these cats draw because it's just so clean and tight and precise and amazing. But I don't think it's a lack of creativity. I just think it's a constant of familiarity. So that's what it is.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you really show your imagination. I mean, with things.
Thank you, but I think it could be
You
better.
know, I just see like you said, Ron Friends or like a Mark Bagley. Their their styles don't really change that much over the years.
No, but you know a Ron Franz, you know a Mark Bagley
Yeah.
when you see
Oh
it.
yeah, they're very
Yeah,
distinctive for sure, and they do
Right.
great stuff. But I don't see them really. You know, maybe it's just the writers they're working with and the projects they're on. But
or it's just it's not their thing. It's
right.
such a different
yeah.
thing to
Well, I
tackle
like what
when
you
it's
said
yours.
earlier,
When
Ink.
it's
You said
yours.
you like
Yeah.
pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
This is
Like
this is
if I was working in traditional, I would have to work like everybody else,
right.
and
Yeah,
a certain style is expected when you work
Right.
for
it's true.
someone else. You know.
And like I said, if I'm drawing comics, yeah, it's got to be this way. Like there's like my weird, wacky, out of the wall stuff. Maybe I could put in a comic. It would just need a lot more refinedness, and not in detail or like execution, but just in placement and how it would go in there, and it would just take a lot longer. Like this is
I
why I
guess
love hanging out. This is why I love hanging out with Frege and like doing things with him that are just like I remember when I was on with him the one time and it was Frege June or whatever, and you get to pick a category what it might be, and the one I picked was free flow pen and ink drawing. It had to be just a ballpoint pen drawing, and he was so happy because that's pretty much what him and I love to do. Sometimes, a lot of the times, is just like just go, just draw. The reason being is it frees you up. You're not constrained by things. You're not as tight and like, oh, I gotta get this really right. It's like, okay,
Right.
I made a line, it's screwed up, but let's keep going. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
What will
and
it
see
grow
what you come
into?
up with.
yeah. So yeah,
It's the
that's why I
same
love,
when I'm
that's why I love
when
hanging
I'm
out with Frege.
painting freestyle too. It's the same thing. Like you put some marks down, and the next thing you know, oh, that sort of looks like a nose or an eye, or
Or a
it's
happy
a
little
tree.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah,
Happy
and then
little
you just
tree.
go.
Exactly.
You go with it, and
Little
then
Bob Ross there.
you get into the
Yeah.
zone. You know, you get into the
Yeah.
zone, and it just comes out. So
And like that's what I said on a Shelby stream, and I was joking with NTM. I'm like, you just let your id take over, and sometimes you do. You just let your id take over, and it just you
Yeah.
zone out, and you're just going. You don't really
Well,
know
I like
fully
that
what
you're
you do.
collaborating and having, like you say, throwing everything in but the kitchen, everything in but the kitchen sink. You're wacky and weird, but it's all going to be comprehensive into a
Yeah,
story. But it's going to take you places you've not seen before.
and that's the
I-
thing. Like with Frog G, the first few pages start off with like the development of the character, and it is like humans and stuff like that. So it's not as off the wall and stuff. But you saw the swamp, like death come out of the swamp and stuff. Like that's kind of different from the way like the first few pages look because there's no humans in it. It's no anatomy here, this there, two eyes here. Like it has to be right there and across
and
here.
the
Right.
beginning of the book is very bright, and it's in the daylight, and
Which was brilliant. Yeah.
And then, but the rest of the book is going to be gloomy in the dark, underground in the swamp, and so, yeah, we're trying to. I figure like when we do it, we just come up with like a basic idea, and then I do feel like we're just being creative and just molding it, because you just have the basic. You have to represent this idea as artistically as you want to go with it, and I think we'll just keep doing that and throwing everything at it until one of us goes, "Hey, dude, that's." I don't even know what the fuck's going on. We gotta
I don't know
change
what
that.
that
is. Calm down on that
we
one,
haven't
pal.
hit
Yeah.
that point yet. But
And not to
just
give
put-
anything away because it might get edited out later, but as far as throwing everything into it, I believe I've seen a page that does in fact have a kitchen sink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it does.
Oh yeah,
that
he
can be
showed
edited out later.
one. Well, I don't know if it's a kitchen sink, but he showed one earlier. That page, that down shot has sink.
yeah, that's the setup for a money shot. So you got that page, and then the next page is like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get as many pages done a week with the way life is. It's tough to really get to sitting down at the tables and the computers and drawing in the time frames that I want to do it. But I'm trying to get. My hope is to get 3 a week. I haven't hit it yet, but I would like to get 2 a week. I would like to. I'd like to, a lot of my stuff gets done over the weekends. But
Yeah, we're both
Yeah.
full-time workers. We
Yeah.
both work
Me too.
full-time, so it's like
Yeah.
when we get the time, we throw what we got.
It-
It's usually our days off that we're making comics and
Not only
or
that,
late
some
at night.
some days you fall into a ditch and almost drown, and so you really don't want to work
Yeah.
that night. You know what I mean? So-
Right.
Yeah, regardless
Or
of
like
what the
last week, my
Yeah, the
my
dishes.
fingers were the size of sausages. I couldn't move
Yeah,
my hands,
couldn't
so you know, get stuff
And
like that.
yeah, there's plenty of days where I just like I'm so sore from like it's a busy day. Like I work in shipping, and it's so insane.
Oh, yeah.
I get home at 8 o'clock at night. By the time I'm done cooking, dude, there's been days where I got home at 8 and I'm supposed to make dinner, and I just passed out and sitting on my bed.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and I
god.
wake up
I
at 10
wanted to
o'clock at
pass
night.
out
Yeah, so I mean,
on Friday night just driving. You know,
No.
that's bad.
Yeah.
so-
Pull
Yeah,
over
like
and
you
sleep.
said, one week I fell into a ditch, hit my head on a rock, and almost drowned. You know, it's just
Yeah, he almost
all
drowned.
it is.
Oh,
We almost had no
damn.
more ink. No more ink.
Ah.
All gone.
Get him out of
We
that
have to
ditch.
go.
Oh,
So
right.
thankfully
Well,
he did.
Inca, what kind of comics did you grow up reading? What were your stuff?
I pretty much read everything. How I got into comics was a little different. For me, comics was 100% escapism because I grew up in a very bad home, abusive parents, drug addicts. My grandfather used to just sneak me comic books, and
Oh.
he'd just give me big piles of comics, and I would just at night read them under my blanket with a flashlight, and that was my escape from real life, which was horrible, into this fantasy world with Spider-Man. You know, I even love Superman and the Predator and Aliens, all those like crazy offshoot Dark Horse comics. Anything, he would just bring in piles. He didn't know anything about comics. He just knew that I
Wow.
liked them, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
gave me something special, you know, in a life that didn't have many things like that. So it was true escapism, and it really probably saved me when I was a child. It gave me, and I don't know. That's
you-
why I'll always love comics.
That's
Do you
very
still have those dog-eared comics?
What's that?
Do you still have those dog-eared comics that you read the heck out of?
Oh yeah, I have. I have tons of storage units
Nice.
full of comics. So
Look at you now, buddy. Wow,
Yeah, that's
you're
what
living it.
comics should be. There should be escapism. Like that's why I love like I know Ethan wants him to change his channel back, but I love Zach's channel's name, Comics Matter, with your boy, because they do.
Yeah,
It's
they do.
storytelling. Like he just said, they mattered. As him as a kid
Hey,
growing up, those mattered. That escapism mattered. Like that was pivotal. Comics do matter. Like it's another form of
Yeah.
storytelling. You know, no matter what, even the Egyptians had the hieroglyphs. Like they matter. Like, that's a form of comic book storytelling in a way. It's all this stuff does matter. It really does, and it's important, especially since it's going the way of the dodo almost. You know, we want to
Right.
get them while they're young. So we want to get an all ages book out there that, you know, if you back it as an adult and you have kids, like Amanda B, she's got kids. We want Amanda B's kids to be able to pick this up, look through it, read it, and have a good time. You know. So yeah.
But do
Absolutely.
you realistically think that a book about a frog could do well?
Yeah, frogs are magic.
I-
Hello.
I think there might be a chance.
Might be a chance.
I think our book about a frog
Yeah.
makes the most sense of any book about a frog, because what happens in fairy tales when you piss off a magical entity, they turn you into a frog, and that's what happens.
Turn you into a frog.
Yeah.
And I didn't this is the great thing about this collaboration. Without discussing it with Ink, I actually tied in a reason for her to turn him into a frog, very subtly, but not. So, you know, I didn't even ask him. I just
Oh yeah, there was. I saw. He did something. I'm like, because we couldn't figure out why the character would be called Frog G,
yeah.
and Jason just did one little illustration, and it fixed the whole problem. So
Oh, yeah.
stuff like
Is
that. Yeah, it just
So
happened.
we'll know why the character is called Frog G.
Yeah, you'll know.
Yeah,
Okay.
you will. Well, I mean, we will say like his name is Jeremiah. If you back the second campaign on the back of the trading card, his name is Jeremiah with a G. Like Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So I mean, like that's where the G part comes in. Now, why he's a frog, why he gets turned into a frog, you'll see whenever you back it, and you'll be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Plus, he's a minority character.
He's a
He's a
minority.
black dude. He's a
He's
big
the
buff.
Miles,
No.
he's the
Cool
Miles
idea.
Morales of frogs.
Now,
You'll never see
yeah,
him.
now-
You'll never see him in human form after page
Now,
5.
to clarify,
so.
Frog G is not Frog G is not a black dude,
Correct.
but Frog G
I'm
is a
not.
black dude. Yeah,
Frog
he's
G in the
not.
comic is a black dude.
But he does have the goatee. Frog does have the goatee.
I do in fact have the goatee.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Is
that
it
was
as
funny.
long as Jason?
Well-
Actually, yes, I think it is.
Wow.
Yeah, nice. But that was the funny thing. Like when he first asked me to do it, he's like, "Yeah, Frog. You know, he's gonna have a goatee." I'm like, "A frog with a goatee?"
That's kind of that's
Like,
unusual.
what?
Huh?
Like, all right.
It's awesome.
It fits though, because without asking, I thought it was just a little thing that you added because you have your stroking
No, Frog
little
G
beard
was,
there.
it was a complete design by Frog that I
Okay.
drew up the concept and he had to okay it. So like me adding the backpack, like he, that was like, for his wrenches. But Frog G wanted him to be a mechanic. What were the exact specifications, Frog? Do you remember?
I'd have to go pull him up, but yeah, make him a mechanic. Obviously, frog-like. Let me
Beard.
see. Yeah, the beard was definitely one of them.
And and then I did ask you the color scheme, and I think you did say like the red hands. I think you did. Like, can't remember. The orange eyes, or maybe I just pulled up a tree frog.
I think we both said kind of like a tree frog there. Let's see here. Yeah, pulling it up here.
Wow, you're quick.
Yeah.
Let's see, that was the effective power. Yeah, still frog-like. I gave estimates for height, age, D&D stat as far as orientation. The orange red eyes, bald possible, the dark brown beard, something like that. Either frog folk or possibly, and this is for the D&D, just the initial thought process on this one, a dwarf that could have been like polymorph or cursed into a frog, which explains the beard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Okay. See. Yeah.
Pretty
I forgot
specific.
all that. So I forgot all that. So, yeah.
It is,
But yeah. So yeah, and I did forget though, like on the back are D&D stats. So that's why, like initially, like we had all these things planned out, is because like he even developed those powers, which I do want to incorporate into the book. So it'll be a fun little thing, and the Inkspots and I will talk about that obviously as the story goes.
Were you a mechanic, Frog G, in the service or out of the service?
I actually supervise mechanics right now. I'm not actually a mechanic.
Okay.
Still,
I think it's interesting that Spots is plumbing, and I'm sure he uses wrenches.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it was a that's
Big
how the
monkey
collaboration kind of went back and forth with us. Like, so I even added that little light or something, just because my dad's a mechanic, and I know he used to hang the light in the garage, so he could see, and I remember that. So I was like, oh, that'd be cool to incorporate in there somehow.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, it was a fun little collaboration that Frog and I went through, and then like I gave Inkspots just the colors, and he just hit it out of the park, man.
Damn.
And your dad used to work on cars?
He still does.
He still does?
Nice.
And my dad's a mechanic. I know
Yeah.
nothing about cars. I know how to.
Yeah, I don't either.
I barely know how to draw them.
They're tough. They're tough.
I
They're
hate drawing
challenged.
cars, dude. Yeah, but I'll draw them, but I just don't like drawing them.
Horses are hard, I think. Oh, dude.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
some people. I wish I could draw horses like Frank Frazetta.
Oh, damn right.
Yeah, I would love to see you do dinosaurs, Jason.
Actually, that's funny you should say that. The comic shop owner or manager, anyway, wants me to draw Blue and 2 velociraptors. So
Really?
yeah.
That'd be interesting.
And I know
Yeah.
that you're working on a
He
Shadowhawk
was
backs commission
Oh, yeah.
salamander.
Well, I'm not working on it, but I have to.
Talk me.
It's
Yeah.
yo, what's going on?
It's
I
in the
am
works.
going to work on it. It's in.
Okay.
Well, it's not in the works at all. Like he knows I'm completely busy, and that I can't
Right.
really do much of anything.
Yeah.
The only commission that I took on a while back that I have to finish still is for Woodrow. I actually have the.
Oh, let's see this.
Well,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not Shadowhawk backs anymore. He's Shadowhawk Talks. He's actually got his own YouTube channel.
Hot Talks.
I was very happy.
Yeah, and on his channel, he showed a Jason.
Oh,
basketball
yes.
Yeah.
That's so
This is
sweet.
the-
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
watercolor it, but yeah. So this is
Looks
the.
good.
Looks great.
Not a texture.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so this is like pen and ink, and I tried to be as clean as I could in a way. Like I got some splatters down here that I did on purpose, but I tried to keep this, you know, a little cleaner than some of my other stuff. I don't always like to purposely be messy. Sometimes I do.
Right.
Piece. But yeah, Shadowhawk is a huge supporter. I love Shadowhawk, man.
Yeah, he's got a whole wall. Of
Yeah.
your
I
stuff.
love it. Yeah.
And he featured it the other day on
I'm
his
wildly
show.
flattered. I've known Shadowhawk since the Frege Couch Doodle days. So yeah, he's an OG. Yeah, I like
Absolutely.
him. Good guy.
OG CG.
Well, he may have bowed out. I know he was on Vic King's earlier, and it seems like he bowed out. He was wanting to come on here and see you. I think he saw you last week on Apex's show.
Yeah.
I jumped in because he was on. The link was in the chat, and I jumped in. I was thinking about just listening and drawing, but I saw Shadowhawk was on, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I got to jump in. So yeah,
you're a great listener.
Well, here's the thing, man. Everyone, like I said a million times, I came in with Frege, but I first started off by just listening and watching and talking in the chat with Frege. So once that interaction from creator to fan with Frege, like I respected and appreciated that so much. It's weird to not return that favor and to not to understand what it's like. Like Shadowhawk's a fan, so to talk to a creator that he's a fan of is pretty cool. You know, it's really cool. Like for me to talk to Frege, really cool. So, and I'm like Shadowhawk. I'm a human being, so I like talking to these people. You know, these are the people that support me, that help me. Without these people, like Inkspots and I wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. So.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Like every time I get on with EBS, I'm still like a complete fanboy, and I don't know what to say or do. Like I'm a dork.
Well, because these are almost like our mentors. We grew up reading and looking at their stuff. So yeah. So like these are our mentors. These are our professors. I don't like my old Jonathan Hunt is a professor of mine from college. I still call him Mr. Hunt, even though we're both in the industry. We're both like he's not that much older than me, really. I mean, I shouldn't call him Mr. Hunt, like, but I do because he's a mentor. He's a teacher. And I respect him completely. So he's Mr. Hunt. He will always be Mr. Hunt. That's Frege. I don't call him Dan. It's weird. That's Frege. Like it's just a respect. So yeah, and somebody that's a mentor. Yeah.
I mean, them guys were like rock stars back in the day. Like,
yeah, they are.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
Now people don't get that, but when we were kids,
guys,
they were like rock and roll stars, man. These guys were great.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be at San Diego Comic-Con in '92, and we were in a hotel room and walking down, like my family and I walking down, and I think it was Jim Lee and Eric Larson and somebody else, or Todd McFarlane and somebody else walking towards us, and I was just like, because they were just walking and talking. They were just going to like somewhere. I was like, yeah, like you would think like David Bowie was coming at me. Like it was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I saw Todd McFarlane at the gas station. Right. I'm looking at this 35 little like fangirl. You know, like you're Todd McFarlane. Oh yeah, can you sign my wrapper for my hamburger?
You never know.
Give me a Sharpie, kid.
Convention, you never know what a creator is going to become. I remember meeting Eric Larson, and he was trying to sell in the Megaton comics the first appearance of
Savage Dragon.
Which he redesigned after that. I mean, he looked a lot different that first appearance.
Yeah, the first 50 issues of Savage Dragon were wonderful. I love the first 50 issues. On point, man. Loved it.
Yeah, see, right there is a signed Spawn number 4. Signed Spawn number 4. I think it's a 9.2 grading.
That's cool.
Okay, nice. Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah. That's a Jonathan Weishach print.
Cool.
So is that slab, or are you just guessing at 9.2, or what? Is that slab?
What's that?
Is that slab 9.2?
Yeah, it's slab. Dude, yeah, it's
slab.
Well, I got it signed, dude. I got it signed way back in the '90s, like in '92.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but the CBCS has a. You could take.
Sure. I love it. Yeah.
The CBCS has a gradient where they can authenticate signatures in the past. Yeah, so that's what I go through all my books because I had them all signed when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
I like CBCS. That's who I go with.
I have I have another. You don't have to make me big, but this one with a glare on it. It's a crappy grading. It's like 6.5, but it's Jim Lee and Chris Claremont.
I will see this for a second.
But there's a glare on it. You can't see it.
Okay.
But it's a Chris Claremont and Jim Lee X-Men number 2. So
Oh,
nice,
with
dude.
Magneto.
Yeah. Now it's
Yeah.
6.5, but I'm never gonna sell it.
Yeah,
Oh.
just
Man,
having
that's a
it,
memory. Yeah,
It
that's
is.
a memory that I have with my family. So
Yes.
I'm not selling that. Yeah, so
Uh.
I get them slabbed just because oh, you're an artist, you could fake that signature if you want. It's like, well, no,
No.
didn't, jerkhead.
Right.
Signed.
Who
I did some
wants to
hard
do
work
that? Go
going to
around.
conventions to
Yeah.
get these signed. I have
Yeah.
a signed Rob Liefeld, New Mutants number 87.
Ooh, nice.
Dude, this thing that cover's red as all get out. Like there's no fading on that. I got to get that graded.
Nice.
It's like I was going through
It's gorgeous.
a box of comics. I usually go through a box or half box. I think I got through half box because I'm having people on. Shadowhawk was on with me earlier today, and wow, pulled out an Ethan Van Sciver I didn't know Marvel book that he did, and pulled out a bunch of Kyle Ritter Dynamite books that he colored the covers
Oh, yeah.
for, and didn't know I had. So these names that I didn't know, now I know who they are through CG.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like I miss doing conventions. There are some that I gotta focus on so much stuff. Like I really want to get a lot of Frog G pages done, rather than go to conventions. But I love conventions. I don't know, Ink. Have you ever done any?
Oh no, I never have because I wasn't
Oh.
really in comics.
Yeah.
Until the last
Oh,
few years.
yeah,
fun,
I've got to
dude.
say, I saw on Twitter your booth that you had, Jason, recently.
Oh.
It looked great.
Oh.
Thanks. Yeah,
Wow.
no, that was during Free Comic Book Day. The local comic shop, because we're friends. I'm friends with the comic shop, and they have me out front on Free Comic Book Day every
Cool.
year. And this is the second time actually Rick Saylor stopped by.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've met Rick Saylor in person a couple times.
Great
Cool dude,
supporter.
man.
Awesome.
Yeah, great supporter and down to earth, man. Dude, when he shows up, I mean, him and I will get talking for hours, and I feel bad because other people keep coming up and looking at stuff, but I want to talk to Rick about a lot of stuff. So I'm like, oh man, and Rick understands. I'm there. Like, if I start talking to somebody else, so he'll just look through stuff or I'll go in the comic shop, but. Yeah, so Rick's a cool dude. And it's great to meet him.
It looked
but
really
I
nice. You had a big old banner behind you there.
Yeah, that's my
Cool.
banner. I have a banner, the art of Jason Basco, and it's got some of
Yeah.
my artwork on it, my logo, and it's the second year I've had it. Now, they want me to come out front again, maybe next month or the month after, because they're going to have a very special guest on. And I'm not even going to say the clue they gave me because I don't want to get too pumped about it. But it's supposedly a big name that they're going to have. So if it's the guy I'm thinking,
That'd be
I'll be
awesome,
like
dude.
the kid in the candy. Dude, I'll be so. Ink
Yeah.
knows. Yeah,
I
so
know.
I'll be geeking
It's
out.
ink spots.
With,
Let's just say it's ink
It-
spots.
It is ink spots.
Yeah.
I want to see before I go blind. You are my favorite blind artist. Near
Thank
blind.
you. I'm like the only. I know Fanta and I are blind. That's about it. But,
Yeah, Fanta's pretty bad.
No wonder Fanta likes me. She
She
can't
just
see
needs
me.
a bigger monitor and quit looking at stuff on her phone. She's just
Yeah, it's a big old
Fanta's
monitor.
great. We love
She is.
Fanta.
Yeah, we do.
over at-
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Fanta's
she's-
great.
She's
Yeah,
doing a
she's great
fan
support.
trading card for me. I
There's a
couldn't
channel.
leave Fanta out of my
There you go. Thank you,
my
Frog G.
campaign. She's supposed to be doing a trading card for me. So
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I go ahead.
yeah, I wanted to include her. She's
Yeah.
just a lovely person.
Absolutely.
She
Really
is. She is. I
Nice
yeah,
lady.
I'll watch her videos that she posts, and I'm like, oh, you're so adorable.
Yeah.
So she's great.
And
did
if
send
you want
her,
to know
a
about
sketch.
Johnny Depp and the trial, just ask her.
So
She
nice.
follows it
Fanta.
all.
She will definitely follow. Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent her a
She
video.
likes all my ukulele songs. So
She does like it.
That
Ink
is
sang
true.
Ink sang her a good night song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Is that one
it's
still up on
probably
your channel
about-
link?
It wasn't on my channel. It was when I was on someone else's stream that I sung that to her. So.
How did
It was
you?
on- it was
you know,
on mine,
that's
dude.
another question, Ink. How did you get into the playing?
Ukulele.
I just wanted to learn an instrument, and that was the easiest one to learn. So-
Oh,
Wouldn't the slide whistle be easier?
I guess, but I wanted to look like I knew something.
You're not
Oh,
secretly
yeah.
Hawaiian, are you?
No, I used
There
to
you go.
own a different plumbing company, and it was very stressful. So.
Oh, you did.
So I kind of use had a ukulele at work, and when I get stressed, I just like pick on it
Well,
for
you
a
were
while.
talking, about a month ago about all the test questions that plumbers had to take nowadays.
Oh
That
yeah,
just blew my mind. How hard a test that was. I
Wow.
mean, as
yeah,
far as mathematics, if you had a pipe this long with this diameter, what would be?
yeah.
I mean, that was like physics to me.
Yeah, a lot of it is, and like you do it as a plumber, like I just learned on the job, and you don't think about it, but when they
Mhm.
put it out to you, like you have to explain it mathematically and stuff.
Yeah, it's a
So
lot different. Yeah.
I got my plumbing license just a couple months ago for my new company, and it was I was about as prepared as you could be, and I still barely passed it. So
Wow. Yeah.
it's a very hard test. So
Uh,
very hands-on, and then I had to get a lot of extra certifications and stuff because I do specialty plumbing. So
My
yeah,
great uncle was a
Wow.
plumber, and I don't think he ever had to go through all those tests that they have today that you were describing.
I did it the first time. The first time I didn't have to do it wasn't as hard. This time it got a lot harder. So yeah.
Hmm.
But also, hopefully, the comic book stuff will make all that work I did worthless, so I don't have to do it anymore.
Well,
Right.
but at least you're like, let's say it does, and then all of a sudden it tanks out. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
you have
still
something.
have it. Yeah.
It's always good to have something. I always wanted to be an artist, but I was taught to have something to fall back on. Maybe that hurt me
Yeah,
because I didn't try as hard to be an artist.
definitely. Why don't you get a
Uh,
real job?
yeah,
Stop
so
doing all that
Yeah,
art
our parents
stuff.
just say it, knock that in their heads, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my thing to fall back on is just whatever gives me medical. Like that's really
yeah,
it. I don't really
yeah,
like it's
yeah,
just a job. I don't have a trade. If people are smart these days, they'll learn a trade
Yeah.
like
and
plumbing
like
Yep.
or electrical.
absolutely.
That's the
You'll,
best
they'll
way to go.
always need you.
being a mechanic. Yeah.
Even if the government takes over and it's a socialist society, they'll still need plumbers and electricians. So.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. So
Yeah.
True.
And,
yeah,
and
so
pl-
like
with plumbing, it has to be right. You cannot have one drip every 2 minutes.
No.
Oh,
It
no.
has to be right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so but yeah, so this is my thing. Like I really don't like I have stuff to fall back on, but that's just regular jobs. Like that's
Right.
it. Like
Yeah.
this is my thing. Like this is what I need to do to be happy and live.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
every day I walk into work, and I'm sure like a lot of people, I'm like, I hate life. But the second I'm out of there, I'm like, oh, I get to go draw comics. and
Yeah,
actually
it's
have
like-
my real life and hang out with my friends on YouTube.
It's
All
Or
day
you work
you're
out
doing
in the
doing
gym.
Yeah.
horrible
You
things.
work out 3 times a week, don't you, Jason?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ink. Sorry, I'll answer you in a second here.
Okay.
No, I was just saying all day you're doing the horrible stuff that you really don't want to be doing, and your reward at the end of the day is you get to go home and draw comics, man. Really do
Yeah.
what you want to do. And just to imagine, like, oh, that's all you have to do is just, like, wake up and do what you love every day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Draw a
that-
page.
That is definitely the dream, man. That's the dream. So-
And yeah, I try to work out 3 days a week, Devil. It doesn't always work because, like I said, if we get insanely busy at work, I maybe don't. Or also, if I have to come home, I get home too late and I cook dinner and it gets to be way too late. I'm like, I gotta draw pages though. I gotta work on this. And I don't think consider I have to draw them. I have to work on it. I'm like, I want to draw them and I want to work on them. And if it gets too late, I can't do it. So, or I can, but I'll only be able to do it for like 2 hours. And I don't know about ink, but once I start something, I don't want to end in like an hour
Yep.
or 2 hours. I want to end in like 6.
And when you get into that zone, you don't want to stop either, because
Right,
you get into
no.
that place where you're just
Yeah.
doing it perfect, and if you
So,
if you start tomorrow, you're not going to be able to do it that good.
When we
So
hang
I-
up
I-
here, I imagine Jason's going to get to work.
No, it's dude. No, it's almost what 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you're on that. You're on that Eastern time.
Yeah,
No,
Eastern.
you're on Central,
48.
aren't you?
Yeah.
You have the holiday weekend off, though?
I do. I have Monday off. Yeah.
Ah, good.
Well, that's the good thing. One good thing about my job, like it's okay. What I do in my is not what I want to do in life. So of course, obviously, I don't like it as much. But in all reality, it's not that horrible of a job. Like the company does take care of you. It does help you because we have great medical. The pay isn't the best, but it's not the worst. I can't bash the company. It's a good
Right.
company. But it's just not what I want to do for a living. So of course, obviously, when I walk in, I'm like, ugh. Oh my god! Can't wait for the day to be over because I can go home then, cook dinner, maybe work out, either draw or then jump in Discord and draw and hang out with like Bar and Plago and Billy and Ink and be like, oh, these are my friends. This is my real life. And then
Yeah.
I go into work and my pretend life is there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh.
After Absolute 1 and 2, those around you, what did they think about what I would call successful campaigns? What did they think about that? What was their reaction?
At my work?
No, at your home, because I know your mother's helped you out. And-
My mom is very, very happy and supportive with everything that I do. She's so. When the first book came out, I didn't order everything. I looked through everything and I like clicked something for the proof or whatever. Or no, I clicked to okay it, but then I canceled it. Well, when I canceled it, it didn't go through right away. So they did send me my whole order, and they sent the wrong thing. And when they sent it, like the first batch had the covers, but the interiors were blank. So when my
Whoa.
mom got it,
yeah, an error.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now this wasn't the actual order. Like this was just a mistake they sent. So when my mom got it, she was so scared and so devastated because like she was obviously so unbelievably excited that her son finally has a comic book out that always wanted one in his life, and she opens it to see and then blank. You know, so yeah, my mom is a huge supporter, and obviously without her, I wouldn't be able to do 80% of what I do. Like I was
She
able to
helped
draw
you
and be on this
fulfill
Well,
most
yeah.
of Absolute too, didn't she?
Someone
Well,
mixed
hold
in
on.
the stone pages.
Yeah, but so the rest of my family, they don't really care. Like my nephew likes it when I draw him something for Christmas. Like I drew him Kratos from God of War, and it looks amazing. But like that's it. They don't really care. Like they know this is just something that I do, and I have fun with it. Now, yeah, my mom helps me with fulfillment. So she helped with Absolute Book 1 and 2 for fulfillment because I can't really see that well. So when it comes to entering the addresses into the thing, I can type them out. She's got to read them to me. So she'll go on the Indiegogo site. She'll read out the name, the address, everything, and I'll type it in and I'll do everything. So, like I said, without my mom, I honestly don't know what. I mean, obviously, one of my other family members would help me, but they would hate it. Like my mom actually likes helping me. She enjoys
Does
it.
Well,
your
that's
brother still read comics?
My brother passed away last year.
Oh,
so,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry
No,
to hear
yeah, it's okay. I don't really I don't delve too much in my personal life and
Right.
into this stuff, but yeah. So he. Funny thing was, he was collecting and he stopped just like I did for a while, but then he's like, oh, I was starting to buy again. So yeah, add my stuff, my Spider-Man stuff to the pull, and he was pulling it and reading it for a long time. He was reading it, and then finally he was like, dude, it's like I'm done. It's like this stuff is just garbage. He's like, I don't know what they're doing, and this was before CG. This was before I got into CG. So he even saw it before even I did, and before I got into this. So he was like, man, I just can't. They're ruining Spider-Man. They're ruining Venom. It's like this is just garbage. I can't read this anymore. And he had me stop his pull. So yeah, I mean he was reading still. So up until a point, yeah.
Okay.
So even he knew it was trash. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Jeez. Jeez Louise. Actually, those blank pages that your mom got, they're that missing snow pages that came out of your portfolio. Remember this John Byrne snowstorm?
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That John Byrne Alpha Flight issue, I think issue 7 maybe.
Yeah. The
That
snow
was like all blank pages
blank. Yeah.
for
Snow.
a lot of it, like it was a snow nor with just dialogue.
Well,
Yeah, that
I
was
don't
kind of
have it.
gutsy at the time.
Yeah. That's very
Almost
good.
like the G.I. Joe that had no dialogue in it. It was just
Well,
all art.
just like Sin City, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
That's great stuff.
Eric Larson did a Savage Dragon where it
Sketchbook
was one
340.
panel
Hello.
for
Hola.
like 96 pages. It was a stat panel. And it was 96 six panel grid. But I forget. I think it was 90 because they even advertised almost a 100-page book, and then it's all one panel, just stat panel, over and over and over again with story. It was horrible. But yeah.
Ah. Why?
Yeah, it's Eric Larson, man. I was
Yeah.
a huge Larson fan.
I was
Savage
too.
Dragon. Yeah. And my brother who collected Spider-Man, he hated his Spider-Man. I liked it, but that's
Yeah.
because he came after Todd McFarlane. So
Yeah.
if you get Todd McFarlane for a couple years, and then all of a sudden you get
Eric Larson's jinky
Yeah.
looking
Yeah, I
art.
know. What the hell?
But I
Yeah.
did
I
like
loved
his
it too, though.
I
And
said the other day, I thought Eric Larson put more love into his Spider-Man than he does Savage Dragon in his own book.
I
I
don't know,
will
the
say
first 20 issues of Savage Dragon were
so good.
beautiful work.
That was
Yeah,
so
but
good.
I mean, recent stuff.
Oh, forget
No.
about it. Well,
No,
let
he
alone
gave up.
Yeah, he gave up. He's just really trying to just put his book out.
All about production and
Yeah,
not
But
about
why?
quality.
Why?
You know
I
what-
mean, hell.
I will say I did not like the Venom tongue. I still don't like that. It's a little too much for me. Like when
Yeah.
I draw Venom, I draw the Todd Venom. Because
Yeah.
that's Venom to me. I mean, I will bulk
Right.
him out or make him look weird or whatever. But
I
draw
mean,
like, the more
McFarlane was the
I
Spider-Man
guess he was the one
artist
that
to me,
came up
like,
with
Yes.
that. Eric
Definitive.
Larson with the long tongue.
Did
Eric
he?
Larson came up with that because he thought Todd drew it.
Oh, it's just in his head.
It was in his head. It was in his imagination. He thought he
Yeah.
saw a cover that Todd had him like that, and so he drew it like that. And here he was just, it was
And
wrong.
now everybody draws him like that.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the reason I do it, but I'm like, you can do a lot with the beard of Frog G if I have it like long, kind of like that tongue. So that's why I was like, that's why.
and
the beard is
also
so
the
insanely
drop
long.
light. The drop light.
And the drop
gives
light, yeah.
All the rhythm and stuff to the panels.
Yeah, it gives flow to the panels and stuff, but see, like we say, Frog G is like Spider-Man meets Hellboy. He's my like Spider-Man in a way. Like that's the webbing, that light. That's I can play with it. I can make it give dimension with it, depth. I can have a foreground and a background all in one sitting, and have Frog G right in the middle. So that's why I have that drop light too, with the way it works. So yeah,
Well, I've got a question for Frog G and Ink Spots, because
We're
I've
lucky
kind of
we're both
asked
here.
you before about artists that have been influences, and Sam Keith being one big one. But what kind of artists did you like? Sal Buscema, John Buscema, Ink? What kind of artists growing up did you, or were you cognizant of like John Byrne and Frank Miller and others?
Not really till I got older. I remember that my first comics that I really remember were like the Batman versus Predator, and that was the Kubert brothers early on.
Yeah, it was Kubert.
And that I remember that artwork vividly.
Uh-huh.
But once I was old enough to kind of recognize who artists were, it was definitely Buscema, because I had Hot Drug Comics the Marvel way, and I had a fat stack of Savage Sword of Conan's, which Buscema just made the most amazing art. And,
So you even got magazines.
Yeah, that was later on. But
Nice.
yeah, I
Okay.
loved Savage Sword. That was one of definitely my favorite comic book. I just loved the black and white art, to see how, and you could kind of see how they did stuff, and and then as far as like other influences, where it's a lot of children's book artists, for me, I like people with the color. It would be a guy named Will Terry. He's a pretty famous children's book artist, and he just had a great color palette. And I learned actually a lot of color theory from one of those classes that he used to just sell. Now he runs SVS Learn online, and he does the same classes, but early on he didn't have his own website or anything. He just, off of his blog, he sold a video that showed how he colored his children's book illustrations, and that's really where I learned how to color. I learned about color relationships and warms and cools and things like that. So
Yeah.
Will Terry,
Big fan.
Danny Jones is another one. So,
Oh, good to see ya.
and then as far as comics, it was Dale Keown, Todd McFarlane, a lot of
Yeah.
the '90s guys, Sam Keith. Like and I liked a ton of indie stuff. Like I love Crumb. Crumb was such
Crumb's
an
great, dude.
he drew
Oh,
dirty
Crumb,
stuff, but
yeah,
he was
man.
such an amazing artist, and he could do so many styles and cross hatching, more classic
man.
styles. He was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he started out, I know this because my friend had a book, Snatch number 2, that he did in the 60s. And it was hand folded, hand stapled. And it's still, when they had it graded 9.9.
Oh wow!
And it'd been through the mail multiple times,
Wow, I've
So
never
it's
heard of
amazing that it
9.9.
retained that grade, and
Wow.
it was hand done.
No kidding.
And Crumb's such an interesting person too, because
Hello, Crumb.
he put his kinks right out there. He even says like,
yeah, he didn't care.
though the women that would repulse most men, he's like, I like the stinky girl in class. I don't know why, but I like the stinky hairy girl. You know,
It kind of reminded me of Basil Wolvington as an artist.
Basil Wolverton, definitely. Yeah.
Because he did the grotesque in comics, the off-putting stuff.
And think about if he tried to put that out now with censorship.
Oh, forget about it.
I hate censorship of any kind. It's ridiculous. I hate it. So, yeah. I'm not for anything that has to do with censoring anybody.
Speaking of Wolverton, the Creep.
Oh, nice.
Is that Basil Wolverton?
No, that's me, inspired by Basil Wolverton.
Oh, okay.
He's coming out with a short story, by the way. Yeah.
Basil Wolverton, he did the whole book of Revelation back in the 60s, illustrated. Now, that's a weird, that's a weird take on the book of Revelation out of the Bible. But just check that out.
Yeah, but if you read the descriptions of like angels and stuff in the Bible, they're like monsters. They're monsters. Yeah. You can make. I've seen some. Bisley did some Bible stuff, and it was freaking rad, dude.
I've never seen it.
If you follow what they write and you make that thing, it's a monster and it's cool. And so I can see
stingers in their tails and all kinds of descriptions.
What about you, Frog? Did you look at artists really as much as story, or what?
I looked more at story when I was going through. Now, as far as the comics go, growing up, I don't really remember looking into who wrote the stories on this or that. So it wasn't until I rediscovered this that I started looking into all those. But I did a lot of just normal book reading.
But you knew Chris Claremont, right, on the X-Men?
Yeah. Chris Claremont. I knew some of the stuff. Jack Kirby. That name has always been out there. Stan Lee, obviously that name. But the big names like that, and some of the other ones which I've forgotten now, just based on location, because of where Dark Horse is based out of.
So you started collecting in the 80s, maybe?
It was, I want to say, early-ish 90s.
Okay.
Late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there. And then
that was around when I did. Yeah.
Did you like the Image boom? What Image was doing?
Yeah, there was it was a variety. It was new stuff that was out there. It was exciting on that. But unfortunately, I only have a very small selection of what I had back then because I joined, I shipped out, and a lot of my stuff had to be consolidated down into a little bit of my stuff.
Doesn't that hurt, man?
Yeah.
Those stories are everywhere. Yeah.
Well, you said you kind of majored on the stories, but then that's been a major criticism of that early Image stuff, that it was not that great on story, but the art was more art.
Yeah, but if you combine the two, the art does tell its own story as well. So what's lacking in some of the words themselves, fortunately, you've got decent art there to help back it up. But yeah, they definitely needed some work back then.
What were you kind of like the artists you like? John Byrne or who?
I honestly couldn't even remember who all I had back then. It's most of that stuff is, like I said, unfortunately lost.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I never liked Byrne. Wasn't even on my list at all. I wasn't a big fan. But yeah, Buscema definitely was. How to Draw Comics of Marvel, it was huge. I must have drawn every image in that book 100 times.
Well, here's a plug. Tomorrow, I will be showing a bunch of original artwork by John Buscema. I probably have more of his stuff than any other artist. And most of it is going to be on Pop's show, the show-offs before my show at 4:00.
So you actually own original artwork by him?
He would do on Seventh Short of Conan. The ones that I own are probably from late 80s, early 90s. The latter part, in fact, I own 2 pieces from the very last issue, which I think was 216. I think it ran 216 issues. I may be wrong on that, but I think that's right. And and my stuff is going to be from like 200 on up, in that range. So I have multiple pages. And what he would do preliminary drawings and then put them on his Lightbox and then do the finished art. I have a ton of his preliminary drawings. Plus, I've got a bullet from in there. I've got the last artwork that he worked on. The last project that he worked on was a DC project, believe it or not. Gil Kane passed away. He inherited picking up the book, and then he passed away. And
Holy
Kevin
cow.
Nolan had to finish the project.
Yeah, it's
So
one of the Stanley.
I'll be showing some of that tomorrow on the show offs. A lot of
Nice.
Yeah,
John Buscema stuff.
yeah.
On
Hey,
hand.
Courtney.
Huh?
How you doing, Courtney?
Yeah,
Hey, Courtney.
like, people see my stuff and like obviously they see Keith, but
You muted.
just,
How
like,
you doing, Courtney?
uh,
Hey.
yeah,
I was letting you finish talking. Go
Oh,
on.
sorry. Oh,
you're-
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
sure.
that's
yeah,
fine.
your YouTube is open too.
Like
Oh,
there's
okay.
a Bucky that he did and signed.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
for that thing.
Wow.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Dude.
It's pretty wild, like this. I can tell. See how irregular cut it is. For some reason, maybe it was a financial thing. He would have do a big page, right, of these drawings, and then sometimes ink them, sometimes not. It might be Western, cowboy on a horse. It might be Conan the Barbarian in a pose. It might be something like this, or it might just be a man sweeping on the sidewalk. And for some reason, he would cut them into little pieces like this at various sizes, and you can
Sell
dig big
'em
in that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wow.
but
Pretty
he,
cool.
and he would sign some of them, like that one signed, and
Pretty cool.
I was able to pick some of those up early on eBay, and
Nice.
but most of what I have are preliminary drawings, full size, of from Savage Sword of Conan.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah,
Right.
I probably have more of John Buscema. That's just the way it worked out, and I hope to, have all those scanned and actually in the future do a John Buscema tabletop book or something.
Oh, God, yeah.
Crowdfund that. Of course, I have to go through Marvel, DC, because I have some of his DC, some of his Marvel stuff. He really didn't do a lot of DC stuff. I mean, compared
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
Marvel.
say I can't really think of anything.
Yeah,
that I
but his
saw
last
that did
project
DC.
to work on was that Blood of My Ancestors one shot, which was a Superman one shot, sort of a Elseworlds thing. Blood of My Ancestors. Like I say, Gil Kane started on it, so the very first pages of it are Gil Kane. Then it shifts to John Buscema. Then he passed away, and then Kevin Nolan finishes up, and he's the one that did the cover.
Yeah. I think the last project John Buscema was Stanley reimagined Green Lantern.
Well, it could have been, yeah.
I think it was that. Yeah.
Could have been. I know he passed away, and he didn't get, it completed
2002.
on that Blood of My Ancestors.
Yeah.
Maybe that came out first. I'll have to look up, but
Yeah.
that was the last thing he was working on. I know, and didn't get it completed. But they did publish it, with the Gil Kane pages, with the John Buscema pages.
Right.
Yeah, they did get it out there.
How wild.
That you might say that's kind of cursed or jinxed project. Had two major artists pass away.
Yeah, no
while
doubt.
trying to complete it.
Gosh. Yeah, I remember going to the San Diego Comic-Con in 2000. That's the year Gil Kane passed away. And then Howard Chaykin was in on a panel and was showing a bunch of best of Gil Kane stuff. A lot of stuff you see is basically drawn underneath the face.
Because
Looks
he
really
was
form.
the understudy, right, of Gil
Right.
Kane.
Exactly.
And Howard Chaykin, I would have never guessed that by his own artwork, that he was
Oh,
the
yeah.
understudy
Right.
of
Yeah.
Gil Kane.
It's nothing like Gil's, but yeah.
No,
It's a,
their styles are
it's all
totally,
very different. Yeah.
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 That is so wild.
Well, and that's the thing. Ink and I we're influenced by different people. So that's the great thing about this collaboration with Frog G is that you're going to get different influences together in one book.
Hey,
And
Mark.
that's what makes it. Yeah, what's up, Mark?
Hey,
That's
Mark.
what makes it like for a beautiful project and an artistic project. Like I said, I know the beginning stuff isn't very totally artsy. It's kind of traditional comp, but Ink's putting in some of those weird stuff. I try to put in some of my weird stuff even in the basic things to try to give out that this is a fantasy. You know, this is going to be fun because, like you guys mentioned, a lot of great talents. Like we're both inspired by some obvious people and some not so obvious people that don't really show through, but that are in there, like panel breaks. Like I got that from a lot of that from McFarlane, even though my stuff is nowhere near it. So yeah, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. And everybody needs to sign up for it.
Wow.
Mike is another one influenced by Todd McFarlane.
Hey,
Mike Mahan.
Mike McMahon, yeah.
McMahon, yeah.
Great,
yeah, I see a Todd McFarlane influence on him, on his artwork from time to time.
Todd was big with all of us, I think.
All of us, yeah. Like I know the Keith shows through, but like I said, McFarlane, you know, even Keon and stuff like that.
I see
like,
a little bit too.
Jay Lee, oh dude, those hard shadows that he could pull off, especially in his '90s stuff. Gorgeous. Travis Charest. Forget about it, you know. I mean, they're influences that don't shine through, you know. Like there's sometimes do. If you look at the beginning part of Absolute, like the first maybe 2 or 3 pages, I tried to use those hard shadows like Jay Lee did.
It's interesting to see like Bill Sienkiewicz. You know, he started out as like a Neil Adams type artist, right? He was mimicking Neil Adams, and then he went to that X-Force or whatever it was, New Mutants type splatter style, right? In the 80s. But now he's kind of tightened up. In the same way with Jay Lee, he was like doing Namor with the splatter type stuff, great, you know. But I've seen him do like his Cyber Frog stuff was like tightened up to me.
Yeah, it's tightened up.
So it's interesting. He
got a lot cleaner.
Yeah, he's got cleaner. Well, so is Bill Sienkiewicz. So it's interesting to see that.
Well, look at Barry Windsor Smith was a Kirby clone, and then he turned into Barry Windsor Smith.
Yeah, he turned to Barry Windsor Smith. Yeah. And even look at like Bernie Wrightson. He's an influence. You wouldn't think of it to see my stuff. Huge influence. Kelly Jones. Yeah, you could see that. But you know, it's Frank Miller. Like, oh, dude, I love Frank Miller. Like it's like the Frog G stuff may not look like that stuff, but those artists, those people that I've read and looked at throughout all these years, they do come through every now and then. And you're like, yeah, I can see it here, but it's Ink Spots and me, so you're like, oh, this is definitely Ink Spots though. Like all those artists that we looked up to kind of amalgamated into what we are. So like it's our style. Like
you take a little bit from each one, you know, I love how this guy draws, you know, a kneecap or whatever, like I'm gonna draw a kneecap
because it's effective, right?
Or like Kirby Knuckles. I always draw Kirby Knuckles. Like forget about it. They're always like rectangles that just
I mean I have for different areas of the body when I draw something I think of Gil Kane for elbows and knees. I think of like the muscles in the legs, like George Perez. You know, because he got those defined muscles in the legs above the kneecap.
See, for me, it's Tom Grumet for the legs and the way he drew. I love the way he drew legs, man. He just looks really
different parts of the anatomy, I kind of draw from, you know, who I think did them well. Like you said, like Kirby Knuckles.
What's up, Greg?
Oh, Greg is surprised the awesome project recently. I'm co-writing a Conan graphic novel. Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Damn.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Wow, damn.
Greg, I want to get you on my show sometime.
Yeah. Actually, he's coming on the 5th.
Cool.
Apex
we've had him on before,
next
haven't
week.
we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah. So he'll be talking about it. Also, there's a question that Courtney mentioned. Let me go up here. Yeah. See, more recent art is a bit comic, but what do you guys think of Mark Ryden? I love his work. I've never heard of Mark Ryden.
I'm not familiar, Courtney.
He's not really
what were some of the things he did, Courtney?
Yeah.
You're right there. You could,
Oh, yeah, right here.
He's not comic, is what I meant to say. Can you guys hear me okay? In my
yeah.
I think your YouTube channel.
Is he a tattoo artist?
They're not connected. He's not comic,
Yes.
is what I meant to say. Can you guys hear me okay? In my
Yeah, you just have
Go and mute your YouTube.
They're not connected.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
So
she muted herself.
oh no, not you. Just the YouTube, not StreamYard. So,
There you go. Yeah, you're good. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you now.
You're muted.
No, you mute
Oh,
yourself.
but
Just
he's not a comic book artist.
You're muting on
Yeah.
StreamYard and not YouTube.
yeah. Go to your YouTube. Yeah.
She's been on stream
One
before.
second,
She
please.
knows. She knows.
Yeah,
She
she's a
knows.
veteran.
She knows.
She might be having mic issues. Yeah. Can't
Oh,
hear
it
her.
might be.
She,
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Make sure
can
it's
type in the
connected.
chat though. So yeah, I'm on.
We'll talk
familiar.
next week, Greg. Definitely, we'll have you on. Yeah. Ew. These
Oh, what up, Sherlock?
So
Hey,
we got
Sherlock.
Greg on next week, huh?
Yep.
Great. Awesome.
You can talk about that Conan thing. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Like she brings up a good point. It's not just comic artists we're inspired by. Like I love the Renaissance painters. You know, I love Salvador Dali. You know,
Yes.
Rembrandt. You know, just
Yeah.
like yeah, like so we are fans of actual art, so to speak. Like Derek Hess, he's a phenomenal artist who did band posters and stuff. I love his work. So it's not just comic art we're inspired by. It's just that's the bulk of what we were influenced.
Do you like Peter Max?
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You like Peter to the max?
Peter
Sorry.
to the Max.
Peter
You know,
to the
that
max.
that,
I'm not a
that
big fan of
Beatles
Peter
artist.
to the max.
Beatles artist. You know, Yellow
Courtney
Submarine.
Abigail.
That's something.
I'm not a fan of the Beatles.
So?
So.
I did go ahead and
Artist
post that link to my Photoshop brushes on my Twitter. So
Well, he was one that kind of
Yeah.
transitioned. I mean, he does very artistic paintings, you know.
Well,
But
even,
it's like pop culture, psychedelic.
dude,
you know.
even Rob Zombie, I love his artwork.
Oh yeah.
Rob Zombie does great artwork. You know, like the guy who does who's the artist for the
Oh,
I hate the
thanks,
band, but the
Rob.
Grateful Dead. I love that artwork.
dude, you're on it
Yeah.
so fast.
That's who did that work?
That's the
It's,
problem, man.
it's basically
Yeah.
just fan art. Began
I
on
don't
the
think
Grateful
so. I think
Dead
a
thing.
specific person did
Was
it,
it?
but Appetite for Destruction. Look at that. That's cool artwork.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Great
dude, that was
stuff.
great. All the
So-
Kelly did the Kiss albums. And those were
Mhm.
amazing, and he was Frazetta's protege. So
Yeah,
Wow.
look at who did the Iron Maiden artwork of what was that guy's name? Is it Iron? Who's that guy with the skull face almost? Eddie.
Eddie.
Who painted
Yeah.
Eddie? Whoever did that.
Good
Dude,
question.
So it's not just comic art that we love, you
It's
know.
albums. Yeah.
It's
Stuff.
a lot of it's just art in general, and that's what
I
we
think
try
I
to
have
do.
an original Eddie picture, actually.
Ooh, that'd be pretty dope too.
Would
Yeah.
be, man.
And I got chastised by Anthony from Dark Gift Comics. He says, "Why don't you have that framed and up on the wall?"
Yeah, sometimes you just don't, you know.
Sometimes you
Shahal,
don't.
come on in if you want. I'm sending you a link right here. In
We
the
got so
chat.
much wall space. I mean, that does
Yeah.
become an
That's
issue.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Real estate only goes so far.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Dude, I got a bunch of original art from like a lot of CGers and even just other artists that I can't
Yeah,
get out.
me
I
too.
have wall space. Yeah,
I have
I got
tons of,
art-
I have a
art
ton
too.
of your art.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a ton of my art. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes
like
every now
Shadowhawk,
and then
he
I'll
makes
paint ink
room,
and
though.
artwork.
Yeah.
Whole
man.
wall of Jason Bascom stuff.
Yeah,
I'm
Rick
going to
Saylor
send Jason
and,
a giant bundle of artwork too.
Does Rick
he did.
Saylor have a bunch of your stuff,
Yeah.
Jason?
oh, Rick Saylor's got a wall.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Rick Saylor's
I'm
got a
still
wall.
working on
Well,
mine.
Rick Saylor, like I said, he'll stop by on the free comic days too and buy stuff. So, yeah. Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Shadowhawk?
Hey,
Shadowhawk.
Shadowhawk.
Hey,
Hey,
you
what,
made
Hey,
it.
what's up, man?
what's up, y'all? Oh
How's
my
it going?
God, I thought I missed you.
Nah, man, you made it.
Just
We
made it.
strung it along long enough. You made it.
Yeah, we had a feeling if we did, you might just might be able to make it.
I thought you
Um,
might have went and passed out after being on Vic's stream.
yeah, I took a little nap there.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, we got a lot of artwork. We're inspired by other artists, and we collect art. Like that's why Frog G is the way it is. It's a comic art. You know, it's comic art. It's it's
Exactly.
fun. It's,
And
Yeah. All right.
I mean, no matter what anybody says, I mean, comic books first and foremost are a visual form to me. And if you don't draw somebody in with your artwork first, it doesn't matter how good your story is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like you could be totally anatomically correct and it could still look stiff, and like that's why I do it the way I do it. That's why Ink does it the way he does it. It's energy, it's life like in a way. Like it's not. It's cartoony, but it's a bunch of things, you know. So we try to make it fun. You could draw something totally unanatomically correct as long as it looks insanely cool. People will love it. You know,
Oh,
they'll love
yeah.
it.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I love about art. I mean, you don't have to be, you know, John Byrne anatomically perfect from 1984 or whatever. You know,
Right. Right.
but when you, and again, I'm gonna throw this term out there, and I hope people pick it up. I call them ink slingers. And you, Jason, Aaron Lepresti, Mark Teixeira, you know,
Oh,
guys that throw down those heavy blacks
Texier,
and just
man.
don't give a
Illustrator.
shit, man. And I love
Uh,
that.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
Carter. I can
Bernie,
only have 6 people on at a time on this. I gotta upgrade my
you talked
screen
about
marks.
Bernie Wrightson, Jason. I mean, he could lay some black
Oh,
areas.
forget about it, dude.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what drew me in when I was just a little baby hawk. You know that was the Bernie Wrightson he was God back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, dude, Wright's amazing talent, you know, and that is one thing that captured me was his use of blacks, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
amazing stuff, and like I said, like that's also why I love Jay Lee. Like I looked at Jay Lee's stuff, and man, like some of his black, you could cut the tips of those with razors. I mean, it's just you get cut by some of those sharp edges that he put in those blacks, and
Oh
I love
yeah.
it.
Like I mean, the stuff that Jay did for EVS, just in the
I
last
loved
couple.
his
Yeah, take a look
Namor
at his
stuff.
Wildcats trilogy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
God, dude,
Yeah, I
it's
have
Yeah.
those
I've
books.
got
Yeah.
I've
Those
got all
covers are
that stuff.
gorgeous,
It's
man.
they're so good, man.
Yeah,
beautiful,
What
I
really
found
caught
beautiful.
mine just the
my
other day.
attention though was his Namor stuff when he drew
Yeah, that
Namor.
was
Oh, I
along the
love
same
this
line of
Namor
it. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
He also did Batman
Sketch
Superman
Arcade
And
game.
Moon
for a little
Knight.
bit.
Hail Courtney, I didn't know I can't see the chat. Hi everybody in there. So
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, he did some fun stuff.
Sketch.
Yeah, but yeah, so like yeah, Wrightson is a huge like I love those uses of those, but that's why Sin City, I love it, man, because that's just the
oh
graphic design element of it. Those use of those hard blacks
Yeah.
are in there, but then like I love the cross hatching stuff like Weishach does, and Sam Keith does and stuff. So
Have you
oh
seen Jim
damn Keith,
Steranko do
dude.
that? I've
Oh
seen Jim Steranko do that with black.
Keith with those crazy telephone cord tatters that he used to do back in the
yeah,
day.
Oh, I
forget about
remember
it.
that. Marvel Comics.
Oh
That's
man,
the Wolverine. Yeah.
Yeah,
love
that's
that
where I was
stuff.
really first introduced to Sam Keith.
Yeah.
Marvel Comics Presents.
Yeah. Mitch McConnell does the eyes. Oh yeah, Mitch McConnell. I know who he is. Mike
Yeah, so
Wright
if you
does the big
guys
eyes. Oh,
like
yeah.
Wrightson, his influence was Franklin Booth. And Franklin Booth got into being inking like Wrightson did on those Frankenstein panels because he used to think that the engravers, like that engraved plates for money and stuff, he thought they drew that out with ink, and so he actually learned to draw like that. And that
Wow.
was Wrightson's influence was Franklin Booth. So if you look at Franklin Booth, you look at it and you almost go, "Oh yeah, that looks like Wrightson." No, Wrightson
That's pretty cool.
looks like Franklin Booth,
Franklin
and that was
Booth.
back
Oh,
from the 1800s. Yeah.
damn.
Is that with an E or without an E at the end?
With no E at the end. It's just
No E at the
Franklin
end,
and
okay.
Booth. 1974 to 1948. It looks like
Oh, 1874. Wow.
1874 to 1948.
Wow.
And that was
I'll
one
look
of
it up.
Wrightson's big influences. And when you look at it, you go like, "Oh, that's how he like drew the Frankenstein plates. It looks exactly
But
like it." So,
And that's
Yeah.
what the cool thing is. Like a lot of artists that we were influenced by are influenced by like
Grace.
Byrne and all these other people, and then those people were influenced by all these other people, and so on. So you get this line of just influences to where it just gets to be an individual style almost.
Building
Because it's-
upon it.
Right,
Yeah.
because everything is just so much combined together that it's like, oh, this is this person. Like it just is because they just conform to their own thing. Like I could look at a McFarlane face and I'd be like, yeah, he totally is a Byrne fan. It's like it's just obviously there. But
Oh, yeah.
you see a Spider-Man, like fully clothed Spider-Man McFarlane, you're like, that's Todd McFarlane. Like there's nothing else there. So
Well, yeah.
The
Yeah,
spaghetti webbing and all
the
that.
spaghetti webbing, just
Yeah.
that crazy anatomy that he did.
Yeah,
the
it's like a
insane
spider.
action poses.
He drew Spider-Man's eyes were, different than they had done
Anyone
before.
else.
And when it comes to that, it's interesting to see, like you mentioned, the Eric Larson drawing the Venom tongue has carried on. The webbing that Todd McFarlane has become standard now. If you do it, just about every artist does that webbing.
I do.
All intricate webbing now. So what they laid down has continued on with other artists since then. It was so innovative, I guess, or from the original.
Well, and then you look at people like Shelby Robertson, who can he can take these styles and and put his own spin on it as to where it's like a McFarlane Shelby style, like he did that one metal trading card of mine. It was a style of mine and his combined. Like you could tell it's a Shelby piece, but you can still see he used my techniques in there too. So it's like, oh, I can see the Jason in there. So you get people like Shelby who are just freaking geniuses that they can do almost anything they want. And I hate them.
And hate them in the good, the good friendly
In the
way.
good sense, yeah.
Everybody says they're sick of Spider-Man 300 tribute covers, but when Shelby does them, it's fucking you're not sick of them, are you?
No. When Shelby does,
we're sick of that one unless Shelby draws it.
Unless
Here's a
Shelby
question.
does it,
Who do you think can draw hands the best? Because hands are tough to draw, aren't they? Yeah, they can be. There's a certain system to it. They are tough.
Right now? Ooh.
I use McFarlane's. He does the peanuts. That's how
he does the peanuts. McFarlane does the peanuts. I
like Neil Adams' hands. Neil Adams was my
I kind of do a Weishach square-edged fingers. Like they're squared a little bit. I like that. I think it gives it more of a cartoony feel, but I do also do the McFarlane peanuts.
Well, Kirby kind of did that too, right? With the square.
Yeah, Kirby did the square ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. For current artists, I gotta give it up to EBS on the hand. That boy,
it's fantastic.
That boy got detailed down, man.
Actually, Luke is really good. Luke Alietta, Death Metal Hero. He's really good at
drawing hands. Luke, dude, did you see the hands he drew for that Salamandroid that he did for me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Luke's a monster with those hands.
Yeah, those claws on that Salamandroid are insane. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, I mean,
for me now, Kyle Hotz is probably my favorite.
Hotz is great,
that's still working, and I think he kind of carries on the Wrightson, Kelly Jones mantle, the way he's drawing. And
pencilers are important, but what about inkers like Klaus Janson or Terry Austin? What are inkers that you like?
See, that's a tricky question because a lot of the times when growing up as a kid, you mainly looked at the penciler like that. Because to you, that was like who drew. Now, like
Tom Palmer, man.
Well, I know who I just say Scott Williams off the top of my head, just because we get David Fitch, Jimmy Reyes. Jimmy Reyes, one of the indie scene, CG scene, phenomenal inker. So, ink you might.
Well, look back how many artists I think about I didn't follow inkers, but if I look back at all the books that I loved and I start pulling them out, what does it say on almost every one? Artie Bear. Every single comic, almost every one that I loved, he inked it.
Artie Bear, man, that dude.
Yeah, Danny Meeky.
And he was one of those Image rock stars there for a minute.
Artie Bear and Meeky.
Yeah, Artie Bear is something else, man. I love that dude.
Artie Bear. I bought an Artie Bear original piece actually from the old Smiller auctions.
Oh, nice, dude.
2 years ago.
I'm lucky enough to own a couple of art things, and I've also got a really nice Elvira drawing that his daughter did.
I got a couple of his daughter pieces as well.
Yeah, Amanda is amazing as well.
I do like like Tom Palmer and other inkers. I think they really add something. And you do have some artists like I showed off a Herb Trimpe today, and it was inked by John Romita Sr. So you know, you do have artists like John Romita Sr. that do it both, you know,
Right. Yeah.
pencils and inks.
Oh, I
And
can't forget.
you really don't look at them as a quote inker, but
Well,
like Bob Layton, he's done things like Hercules and the Origin of Galactus and other things.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, dude. You don't want to forget CG's own Ryan Wynn.
Yeah.
What? Didn't Terry Austin ink John Byrne back in
Yeah,
the
it
Yeah,
is.
and the
80s?
X-Men.
He did.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I
he
kind of
Yeah.
want to be
Oh
closer.
man.
Yeah.
Iron Fist also.
Yeah.
Again, that's kind of like Jason and Ink Spots. You know, they just collaborated, like John Byrne and Terry Austin. They just link up and complement each other.
Oh man, I
put the
can't wait for this.
McFarlane peanut finger
I
tutorial
cannot
in
wait
the
for this
private
Frog
chat if
G
you wanna post
project,
it.
man. I'm telling you, this I am gonna be like a huge backer on this thing.
Oh, you know it, man.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's a fun book. We're having a lot of fun doing it, and I think that's going to show in the final end as well. Like you're going to tell, like, wow, these guys were enjoying doing this. Like they were having a ball. You know,
Hey,
that's what
Mr.
comics should be.
I'm bringing the ladies in tonight. Awesome. Yeah. There you go.
Dang!
Hey.
Look at you, Brett, man. You're a stud.
I don't know. Now, these guys, they're here for them. It's theirs.
It don't matter how many
Yeah.
ladies we have in Rex's chat that YouTube still tells us we don't have any.
Zero
Right.
representation. I don't know. I look at my
Thank
analytics.
you,
it
ladies,
says
for
zero.
being here. Yeah. Awesome.
Fanta, hey, how you doing, dear?
Yeah.
So yeah, so everybody's gonna want to sign up. That's for sure. To get some good stuff, good quality stuff, and like I said, it's fun. Comics are fun. They're supposed to be fun. Like even in the serious ones, like Watchmen, like
Yes.
that was still a fun read. You know, it was a very serious
It
book.
was.
So you know that's what they're supposed to be: escapism, entertainment, and like some of them are even deep thinkers and stuff, or you know fantasies like Frog G, where it's like it's a fantasy adventure. You know,
Yeah.
you root for.
I like the
hero.
element where he's kind of like going to rescue somebody from hell, because that was a big motivator. I don't know if you knew it, but for Dr. Doom, he was always in those early stories trying to rescue his mother from hell. And either way, I mean, so he delved not only into the technological, but the dark arts, kind of like Doctor Strange territory.
Yeah, I like Doctor. I drew a Doctor Doom sketch cover actually, but well, Fantastic Four sketch cover with Doctor Doom's face. But
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, I like Doctor Doom. He's one of my favorite Marvel villains. By
You did a Red Skull today, didn't you?
No, Red Skull I did a few days ago.
Oh, a
but
few
the
days ago.
video posted yesterday or
Oh,
today.
that's what I saw.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you've been
Yeah.
putting those time lapse videos up lately. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause
Eventually, I'll get to
here's
it.
the thing. I don't take long to do them in their warm ups, so I don't really like. I don't even do an hour of drawing because I don't want to take too long. But it's a slight warm up. It might take a total of an hour, hour and a half to do the whole thing, the drawing and the video itself. So it doesn't need too much time away from what I'm doing. That way, I'm uploading content at all times. Everybody live streams every second of the day, like everyone. So I'm like, I'm done. Topicless is it. I mean, I might live stream here or there, but I'm just gonna upload content. So that's why the time lapse is 10 minutes. People watch it, great. You know, they can even
Jason,
watch.
are you gonna bring back test your might?
Yeah, I did one with hockey a bit ago. I try to do them on the off days on the off weeks that Ink Spots and Luke do even read on Thursdays. I just
And
wanted to.
that's what drew me into your artwork.
Thanks, man.
The test your might is.
They're fun. They're fun. Yeah, they're little half-hour sketches. You know, and the people.
Well, I mean, you know, because I'd hit you up at the end of them and be like, "Did you sell that yet?"
Yeah, dude, yeah. Everything, like I say, and even with Ink Spots, I'm sure everything's for sale. You know, everything's for sale. You know, it's money's money, and like, what's the worst thing that can happen is if you ask us and we say no. You know, it doesn't
Right.
hurt to ask.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it never hurts to ask. You
Yeah.
know what I
So,
mean?
yeah.
That's right.
That's why
try to do the test
I
mites,
just
but-
started just like, hey, did you sell that yet? If
Well,
you
I
haven't, hit me
I
up.
had
You
met-
know?
I had met Vic King on Brain Cage, you know, Tank and Greg's Brain Cage together, and then and subscribed to him, and so I went on there and he was doing a piece. There was a lovely piece, and I said, I want to buy that. So, and then I said, would you do something for me? And he's worked he's done maybe 20 different commission pieces for me recently, helping me develop things. So you never know what just the purchase of, something you like, if you've got a project.
No, I love Vic too, man. I love giving him a hard time about how
Yeah.
slow he is to
You're
mail
gonna get
shit
a
out.
you're gonna get a lot of Big King art in this first
King.
issue and in the trading card set. So if you like his stuff, I'm
Yeah,
trying
no,
to
I-
secure down the road a Jason Bascom, but not, he's a busy man, so I
I-
understand.
I've turned down.
Jason is getting ready to be
Mega
a
star.
legend here.
He might even
shortly.
grow hair.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
may
He might-
become the new Samson,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe only with a beard. I don't know about the top hair there. I guess,
yeah. Maybe he's got that Gilgamesh look going on now.
But here's the thing, like, I love what I do, but like ink spots just elevates it even more. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a great combination that we have got going on, and I honestly like I really don't want too many people to color my stuff unless it's ink spots or like if somebody throws out an amazing name, I'm like, yeah, go ahead and do it. But ink spots knows how to color it. He knows what I like and what he likes and what it should look like. So it's a fortunate combination that we have going on here. It's what makes Frog G so good. So
Yeah.
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 Sign up now.
Sign up
Yeah.
now, baby.
Sign up now for Frog G, baby.
Wow.
You
It's a
know you
Frog
want
G,
to.
man.
Yeah.
Sign
Now.
up on Indiegogo.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Oh,
You blipped up for a second. Oh my God, are you all right?
yeah, everybody there.
Lost his icon there when it happened.
Oh
I've-
no, I
His
love
I've
daughter
blipped out
drew
there.
that icon. He used to have
so good.
Salamandroid. Now he has that.
He has
uh,
the blank
bird
circle
icon.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the. I love that. Shadowhawk is the actual Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
Shadowed Hawk, definitely.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, and that's actually my middle daughter, my 22-year-old. She drew that icon for him.
How old is she?
She's 22.
22. Man, she's talented.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
very
Nice.
talented. Wow. Hot damn.
Yeah, I'm an old fart. My oldest daughter turned 38 this February.
Oh wow.
So
I didn't realize you were that
Okay, then.
old, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's older than I am, so
Wow, that's
kind of
cool.
makes me feel good.
yeah,
But
all right,
then you're
Rex.
older
Damn
than
it,
I am.
man.
Apex. That makes me feel
Oh
even better.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Now Jason looks older than me, but he's not.
He's not. He's a young man. This is very young.
I
That's
like that
that's
he has
what
a rubber glove on when he flips you off.
It's
Yeah.
a
Jason-
hard living drawing.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, I think, is like me, man. That's why I only show my icon. Cause we had some rough years.
Well,
Hey,
you have a nice forehead, I must say. When your
I,
camera's angled.
I don't icon when I'm on promo streams, but if it's like a hangout stream or something, then I'll do
I
it.
just look like a
Right.
fat Jason, really.
Yeah, pretty much. With not as much chin hair.
Yeah. I keep mine trimmed.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he keeps it trim and neat.
Well, nice and professional. You don't want to scare
Although he
people
finds
when you go
Cheetos and he's
visit.
a whole lot
Scary
of
one
them,
away.
Yeah.
Well,
give
just
the Cheetos out of the beer.
just to drop a little hint for y'all, the project that I'm working on is gonna feature quite a few of you.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right,
Okay,
that's cool.
man.
Nice.
Now, is this
Yeah.
going to be on your YouTube channel?
Yeah. I'm
Nice.
hoping I'm gonna have it ready for launch probably maybe next spring.
Cool.
It's something that nobody else has done in YouTube yet.
Awesome.
And nobody has done really in CG yet. So I'm hoping it's gonna be something people will dig. I'm still trying to keep it a secret for now. So I don't
So
want to.
everybody go sign
So
up,
back is
sub to.
sub to Shadowhawk
Yeah, sub to
today,
Shadowhawk.
right now.
Yeah.
Or if you guys
There you go.
watching and
Now,
the
I think
replay,
you and
sub.
Apex is doing something together, right? Behind the scenes as well. Are you?
It's a possibility. I mean, I talked to Brett a lot, and I'm hoping maybe I can rope Jason in for a stretch goal at some point, maybe.
Yeah, I'll be happy to help.
But
Well,
we got-
good luck with that. I hope you.
yeah,
can do it.
we're still. I've got about 20% of the project already
Awesome.
completed.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So like I said, I'm trying to keep it a little bit secret just because nobody's done anything like this yet.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I'll be
I
making
mean,
an announcement soon. I don't know, a couple of months or so. I'll reveal what the project is and put out a mailing list and all that good stuff.
I
Yeah.
wanted to produce my own comic, but at the same time, I was appreciative of projects that because I backed a lot of CG projects, Jason's being one of them, starting with Absolute One. And, you know, I can't expect people to back mine unless I back theirs. You know, that's why I kind of look at, you know, but,
Yeah.
you know, whether they do or not, I still want to do my book. But I mean, I like good storytelling, good art, and I see CG's, you know, the independent movement, the thrust is kind of a renaissance in comics right now. The
It
way I
is,
look
man.
at it.
It's like the new golden age when you think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, and,
Oh,
and they're all
to
limited.
me, I mean,
They're
to
all
me,
limited
guys,
on number. You know,
Yeah, it is. Limited
hard to
printings.
find.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, once
What
they're
about you,
gone,
Bruce?
they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
yep,
So
it
they're
kind
all
of feels,
collector's items.
like the image revolution again.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does. Has that
And
feel.
And maybe
to me,
someday
man,
we'll be
I
rolling
mean,
on
I'm just so happy to be able to be at the beginning of you know, a lot of you guys launching your first or second project. I missed Absolute One, but I made up for it at Absolute Two.
Yeah.
And
How about how was that?
Jason can tell you.
Yes.
Well, Jason,
I
have
got
you
both of them.
destroyed those extra copies yet?
What extra
I
copies?
honestly, man, I don't have many extra copies of Book 2 left over, but I haven't
If there's
destroyed the
any
origi-
extra copies, Jason, you just send them to me, dude. And I'll take care of it.
There you go.
Just
there's
get in my basement.
the regular covers for Book 1 I haven't yet, just because I got to find a place to torch them. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's looking to torch a bunch of them for one.
I'm going to go to Hawaii and go to a volcano and ditch those books in the volcano.
Gotta love John Malin,
Yeah.
man, but I hate watching those streams where
And now, how did
Yeah.
they fix that for you, Jason? A little bit more detail on that. You said you got a bunch, about 100, was it, with the covers, but they were blank inside.
Dude, I got my whole. Well, I don't know how many were blank, but I got my whole order.
Your whole
They
order
just
was
screwed up.
like,
They just screwed up and sent me an order that I didn't approve, so it has mistakes in it. So I got to burn those ones. Nobody has those ones because those are just there's blue line in them and stuff like that.
oh, let me buy one of those, Jason.
Yeah, right?
But,
Ultra
let me-
super rare.
Let me have one.
I
Before
take
you
it back.
burn.
My closest friend has one. That's it.
Oh, wow.
But aside from that, nobody
Nice.
has it. And,
Oh, ink spot.
but,
If you
yeah,
didn't
but I
tell me
got
you
my
got one.
regular order. Obviously. What's that?
right.
Oh,
ink
I didn't know ink spots had one.
Ink spots.
I'm gonna be
No.
I'm gonna be all up in Jason's DMs now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're actually we've been slowly burning those. My mom's been slowly burning them.
Oh.
So we're
Oh
getting rid of them.
God.
Yeah.
You using
I-
them for like
Jason,
the
you got a
charcoal
fan?
starter?
Yeah, and you know the Diaz brothers, they capitalized on that. They were the John Malin miscoloring of the full that was supposed to be gold, and they sent them silver. They were selling those cards for $10 a piece.
Yeah.
And that
Dude.
was a misprint.
We've got CG cards going on eBay right now for $40 a piece.
And higher.
$40 for a trading card. That's
Yeah, I've had
awesome.
Jason's stuff, some
It
of
is.
Jason's, you know, just extra stuff that I've gotten from his campaigns up on eBay for a while now, you know, from the
I'm
first
not
campaign.
quite there yet, I don't think, but thank you.
Well, I mean, and I'm not giving it away either. That's why I still have it. You know,
Right.
they're either going to pay me or I'm going to keep it. But, you
Well-
know, that's another way I can I promoted Absolute 2 because
Right.
I would say in my
No,
description,
it's
check out Absolute 2 on Indiegogo.
Well, it's appreciative, but like, if I was maybe like an Image or Marvel or somebody like maybe even 4 years before CG, like I would have a presence, and so people would be interested more. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe down the line, yeah, they keep them up there. They might go,
Oh,
but
Jason, I'm telling you,
yeah,
bro. After fulfillment of Absolute 2 and everything you've done so far, yeah, you're. That's why I was all up your ass to get that commission, man. Because I know pretty soon I'm not gonna be able to afford you, brother.
yeah.
Right.
Don't worry, you're
300
locked in.
apiece.
Like I
Are
said,
you?
it'll be a
Yeah.
bit before I can get to it, but you're locked in. Yeah. So, but yeah, and keep in mind though, like yeah, my stuff maybe in Absolute might be cool, but Frog G's gonna have some original ink spots work on some of the stuff as well,
Oh,
like the
and
cover.
then
Ooh,
He's
the
gonna
original
paint
ink
on. He's gonna do
spots.
some.
Yeah.
He's gonna do like. He's gonna. What are you doing with the cover that you want to do, Ink? Do you want to tell him?
ink. Come on, tell us, buddy.
Spit it
Well, some of it.
out.
Well, I'm gonna paint it, and then so there'll be kind of like an original art part of it, and then I'm gonna do digital as well. So yeah, it's gonna be like a hybrid piece. But yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna do a
so you're
lot
gonna
of.
do digital over your actual painting.
Yeah, and there's gonna be like the characters. A lot of the character work's gonna be digital, and a lot of the background is gonna be traditional. Just I'm gonna
Okay.
like have the panels sized out and paint the background, scan them in, and then kind of mesh everything together. So
I would say you can't do that, but then we've already seen a piece where Jason just drew the female, and then you put a whole new character in the background.
yeah,
That
we're
look
gonna do
cool.
all
But that
I
was
like
that
that.
was
stuff.
all digital as well, though. Like this is
Yeah.
gonna be like
That's good.
like he's gonna digitally do some of it, print it, and then do acrylic paintings or whatever whatever he
Yeah.
work his magic, in a traditional format. So it's gonna be an original ink spots piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I learned how to do acrylic
Magic,
painting,
Alvin.
so I could do
So,
I could
yeah.
do the
That
hybrid
that will
style,
be
so.
interesting to see how you blend the two together.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna help with getting a lot of texture in there too, which I
Yeah.
like and will
Hmm.
match with.
Sounds
Jason's
like
work.
you need more than a 30% share in this project.
Oh yeah, that's why I have a 40% share.
yeah,
We're generous.
yeah.
Because I can remember when Jason was graciously giving you 10%, and then he kind of upped it. He's kind of been
Depending on the day, it depends
depending on the
percentage.
day. Exactly right.
It depends, like just like with Shay, it depends on the day whether or not she's fired or not. So yeah,
Fuck.
I'll tell you what, man. Shay is a merchandising machine.
She
That
is.
girl.
She's something else, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that girl.
She's cool.
yeah, she definitely likes putting out that merch, man. She's
And
always-
and props to Shay inside. That's where I pretty much got acquainted with Jason.
Yeah.
And started buying
Yeah.
his art in the auctions and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my actual
Oh.
first auction on YouTube is on Shay's channel, Red Valkyrie.
Was it? Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't remember. It might have been Red Valkyrie or it might have been Pete Sametti. I can't remember which was the first one I actually bought some original art from. But dude, that shit's worse than crack.
Oh, yeah, I
Well,
know.
that's the thing. Like,
Those
when
those auction streams are freaking
It's-
the
so
bane
good.
of my existence.
I think
Well,
on the
that's-
program,
right?
Shadow, you said, or it might have been one of your videos that you put up, you said, I now can afford some of these artists that were way too expensive, like Aaron Lopresti, some of the.
Yeah, well, back when Aaron was working for DC and Marvel and stuff, I mean, you go to a con or whatever, and it was $400 or $500 for a page.
Yeah.
You know, and now with CG and these big guys coming back in, starting new,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
you can win a page in an auction for $50 or $60. I mean, good
You're
God,
lucky.
man, how can you pass that up?
And that's the thing.
Oh.
When I came to Shay and with the idea of like an auction that could be affordable for everybody, and still like be entertaining and fun. Now, granted, it's an auction, so as long as they priced it low at the beginning, that was kind of what I initially wanted. Like,
And then it
people would be
turned into something else.
Then it turns into something else. Like I can't
Yeah.
control an auction. Like
Because Rob Willis was there. Then it turned
Rob
Oh,
Willis
yeah.
started
$1,200.
$800.
Yeah, right.
Well,
But, like,
And you
and
think, who's
that's
gonna
the
watch
great thing
Red
about an
Valkyrie?
auction, right? Is because I mean, you might start it off and go, I only want $20, and you end up getting, $250.
Well, I
Oh,
mean, the
yeah.
perfect example is Irene. She was
Right, she
doing
started at
NBS
80.
numbers with that one
$600.
piece, $4,000.
Well, she
Yeah.
started at 80, and now keep in mind, Irene also brought in her fans to the auction. Like they came because
Yeah.
she was there, but they had a bidding war at that point. So,
Yeah,
she
Irene
started off
kind
at 80. So
Irene's pulled off the mail-in militia thing,
Oh, God,
vote
yeah.
twice, vote
she's
off.
paid.
And
Yeah,
God,
but
yeah.
I have my fans too. They come in, they see my work, and I'll price mine at like 20 or 30. It'll get up to 200 maybe. So
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
extremely
Oh.
appreciative,
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
it's
That's-
there. But hey, I've had pieces sell for like
exactly
$50.
what I was saying, Jason. Is soon I will not be able to afford you, sir. That's why I was.
But people can always hit me up. But usually you can get things cheaper through me than you can on an auction. So because I don't know how to price myself. So yeah,
I've been trying, Jason.
no, but my I'm not gonna up it for you, but my commissions are gonna be going up soon in price. Double Flyer, don't worry, I'm not gonna. When I get to you, I won't like crank you out because you have.
Yeah, a lot of my original art is trades. Like I'll trade color.
Yeah.
And
for
also,
art.
Jason and Brett, since you guys are both here on the stream, my secret project that I've been talking about that I want to launch next year, I'd like to hit you both up,
All right.
possibly for art for stretch goal. So,
Okay.
Plant that seed early.
I'm
He,
up for
well, he
that.
just did. He said next year. I'm pretty
Next
sure.
year?
I'll be okay by
Yeah.
next year.
Sounds great,
I-
man.
But,
I'm planning to launch it next summer.
Oh,
So-
perfect.
Well, here's the thing. Like Ink and I have been tossing around ideas for artists for the cover, variant cover that we want to get. But I also keep in mind: is this artist busy? Do they currently have books out? Are they currently working on a book? Or whatnot. Price is a factor, but not as much also as to whether or not they're capable of working on something. So,
Or
like,
will
when
they
people hit
work
me
on
up-
an indie project? That
or whether or not
Yeah.
they will work on one. But so if people hit me up, that's something for them to keep in mind. Is he currently working on something? Does he have a backlog? Is he available? Same thing with like Ink. If they want Ink to color something, it's like, well, Inkspot says Frog G. He's got another book that he got hit up on that he's going to be doing. He's got Metal Mayhem Rock Boy. So it's like, yeah, is he can he do it? Maybe in like a year, yeah. But can he do it in 2 months? Maybe not.
unless you offer me a large amount of moolah,
That
and
always
then
helps.
maybe a slot opens up.
That always helps.
Right.
Not guaranteeing it, but you know what? What do you got to lose?
It's
Right.
possible.
I mean, that's a great wedge for opening the door.
If Inkspot says, "Hey, Jason, somebody offered me
Hey.
large sums of money to color something," to be like, "Inkspots, don't worry about working on Frog G at this moment." So get paid, dude.
Yeah, what do you call someone who does stuff for large quantities of money? Motivated. That's right,
There
motivated.
you go. Motivated,
That's
dude.
right. Nailed
Stuff
it.
that foot in the door, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right now it really is my. I have got a couple of commissions going on, but like I told them, it's going to be a few months because I'm really focusing on just getting Frog G out and just because I want to be able to put everything I want in it, and if there's a page that I look at later that I think I want to touch up, I want to be able to go back and I just want time to do that because we really are putting everything we got into this.
That's
book.
what I've tried to do with everybody that I've solicited is throw that out there early, whether they're currently working on something for me or not. And that's what I told John. I said, really, there's no time limit. Take your time.
Yeah.
I do your best work, but take your time. And
I've got
do
a
it when it's
question.
convenient.
I have a question for Jason. How did you get your mailing list started on Indiegogo?
You go into Indiegogo, you hit Start New Campaign, and then on the sidebar it'll say Pre-Launch. You click Pre-Launch, and then you got to set up your the pre-launch page itself. You can put in a video or not. You put up your background page or other icons.
Image.
It shows you what to do.
Yeah.
And I use my Gmail, dude. And
Gmail?
yeah, well, the thing is, well, one thing is I got to unsync it, but all the contacts end up going to my phone. I got to delete it from my contact. But some people use what's the monkey one? Chimp.
Monkey
MailChimp.
Chimp.
MailChimp.
Oh, MailChimp, yeah.
Yeah, some people use MailChimp, but either way, it's going to go into people's spam folder or the promotions folder. You all right over there?
What? Salhawk, you all right? Oh.
He's okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was muted. Did you guys hear that?
No,
you're okay, dude. No worries. But yeah, so no matter what, it's going to go into people's promotions or spam folder or whatever.
Whoop.
But yeah, you go into Indiegogo, you hit the pre-launch button, and then you follow those steps. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it is pretty straightforward once you get going. It takes a little time. Setting up a campaign page itself, dude. Oh, it's so tedious.
That's what I'm doing right now. It's like I've added some few things. I've added some original art on there too, and
setting up a whole campaign page. It's like
it's time.
It's time consuming, dude. Like some people are like, yeah, I'm setting up the page this week. I'm like, a week? That's all the time you have?
It's even over a month, man.
Like, yeah, you
good luck with good luck with that week.
Yeah, you need a month.
It's like a full-time job in a way. We try to set it up.
Save often. I've heard that
save.
It's happened to the Diaz brothers at Field, and it happened to me. I had to rewrite my description 3 or 4 times before I got it up there because I didn't save.
Yeah, you gotta save it. But yeah, that's what. Go ahead, Sherlock.
Rex, and I know I'm gonna do the same exact thing because I'm a boomer too. So.
I mean, honestly, man, I Googled a lot of the stuff first, so I just looked it up and followed like YouTube videos on how to do it sometimes. But
yeah, and actually, I'll tell you what. I mean, God bless Comicsgate. CG, all the indie community that's going on right now. I mean, I never would have even thought about doing my own project if it wasn't for all the cool people that I've met in this community. And yeah, I know community is a bad word. I don't know how else do you call it? I mean, whatever.
Call it a scene. Yeah.
We're just a bunch of goofballs hanging out, and slinging art and comic books and good shit, and
it's a passion.
And I love it, man. I love it.
What does Ink have here today?
Oh, that's a Metal Mayhem Rock Boy.
Holy shit! I love
it.
Damn.
Jason owns this. Jason owns this page. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mine.
Yep.
This
hey guys,
it's really good.
That's awesome, dude.
Hate to say this, but I gotta jump out now, guys.
Oh, hey, thanks for coming, Frog G.
Thanks for hanging out. By the way, I want to say this is the first stream ever. Hey. All 3 of us have been on stream.
That is true. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hey,
Frog, wonderful to talk to you, brother.
Well, you to come on.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you guys as well, and I'll see you guys around on pretty much any CG stream. You can probably find me.
Yeah,
that's right, man.
Anywhere.
Yeah, you're everywhere, brother.
All right, later, guys.
Later, Frog.
See you later, man.
Well, that's awesome to know that we could gather you all 3 together.
Yeah, this is the first time it's been all 3 of us on one stream, mainly because Frog works 3rd shift and he's only off Saturdays and Sundays, I believe, or Fridays and Saturdays, or something like that. So yeah.
Oh man, he's on midnight.
Yeah, he's on 3rd shift.
I used to work on 3rd shift. I love 3rd shift. I
did that for about 2 years when I was in my early 30s, man, and God.
Yeah, but that's Inkspot's Metal Mayhem Rock Boy. That's his his project that's after Frog G that he's going to be working on. He's been working on it for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone through so many different styles, just trying to figure out. So,
oh, damn, this looks cool. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Ink Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
No.
I can imagine the stickers. You guys put out stickers. What that would look like.
But see, this is why I wanted on my project.
I'm getting ready to post a new Instagram, and
okay.
Jason, you hooked me up with so many stickers off that Absolute 2 campaign.
I got a lot too, man. Wow.
my car is now covered in absolute.
Yeah. You
Absolute.
can't buy that kind of promotion. Thank you, sir.
No, you can't,
All
man.
right, you can take it down, big screen.
You can take him down now. Yeah, Ink's sick of being up big screen.
Someone drop Courtney's Twitter link, please. I don't Twitter much.
There's Ink's logo. There it is. In all its
Yeah.
glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of my projects are dependent upon, like, we gotta see how Frog G does. I mean,
Yeah.
if Frog G is gonna
How's that
end
lady
up being a
toxicity?
big hit, then we'll probably just roll right into the next one. So.
Right.
Yeah,
I hope for
because-
your sake it does, because it would be a quite a loss. You know, if it wasn't a success and you had to go do something else, you know.
Well, I mean, it's not that much of a. It's a loss, yeah, because we want to work on Frog G. We want to work not only that on comics solely as a living, but
Right.
you know, we still will be working. Like Ink might only be doing covers, or I might here or there put
Yeah.
out an absolute book once in a while. Like it's something that because like working full time and doing this as well, it takes a toll on you. And like I've been ignoring family and friends and everything in real life, not on
Yeah.
just you know the YouTube friends that I have, but. And so it's like, man, if I'm doing all this and my campaign is getting like, and I'm grateful for it, don't say I'm not like 10K. That's at the end of the day, I might get 2K, like if I'm lucky. So is $2,000 a year worth me ignoring my family? You know,
Yeah.
that is only here temporarily.
Well,
You know,
ideally,
so-
you want the one project to pay for the next project right? Or better.
Ideally, you want the first project to not only pay for the next project, but to make you money as well.
Right.
So you can afford to live and like,
Right.
pay your bills and
Yeah.
But
I'm
to
not saying, like,
generate,
I don't-
enough income to finance the next thing.
right.
You
We're
know?
not saying EVS money. Like we're not talking $1.5 million or anything. We're
Right.
talking like enough to sustain us for like to do 3 campaigns a year or
Yeah.
2 campaigns a year.
If we can make
to do that.
enough money to do the next book, like pay
Right.
us a salary, pay
Yeah.
for the printing, and now we can do the next book. You know, so
I-
that's
I-
what this kind of is. Where this
I
is our
kind of
test to
look
see
at
if we
it
can
as,
make it.
you know, Andy Smith is a huge star, but at the same time, you know, his books have only done 30, 40 grand as compared to some of the big ones.
But
you
so
know
did
what?
R.T. Bear starting out. Remember, R.T.
Exactly.
Bear was around there.
But
Yeah.
but again, I'm going, oh, they've only done 30 or 40 grand. Come on. 30 or 40 grand is not too damn shabby, right? I mean,
Yeah. Right.
It is
That-
if you're looking at that's your entire year's salary.
that's pretty
though.
good, man.
Right.
But not if it's your entire year's salary.
Right.
Like if that's
Yeah.
all he made for the year, that's what he makes. But he still has to pay
Well,
for
right,
printing
yeah. I
and
mean,
shipping.
if it,
He probably made
if
20-something thousand to take home.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
poverty.
if that's all,
That's poverty.
if that's all you're surviving on, then yes,
Yeah.
sir. You know,
Yeah.
you're eating macaroni and cheese
But-
and
Ramen noodles,
Well,
beans,
ramen
here's-
noodles
rice.
and peanut butter.
Here's
You
the,
know?
here's the flip
Yeah,
side
I
to
wish
that,
I had
though.
that.
Let's say you're cranking in and you're only getting 20K per one, but if you're pumping out 3 a year,
3 a
You're-
year.
you're-
That's
you're good.
big.
Right.
yeah. So that's what we're talking about here. We're
Yeah.
talking about pumping, and not only that, like people do hate waiting a year for a project, but if like Ink and I are doing this full time, it's a dream job, and we're going to be able, because I can do a page a day, if not like 5 pages
Yeah,
a week.
we could
Easy.
pump a book every few months if
Yeah,
we
we
were
could
doing
pump
it
out,
full
but-
time.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
Yeah.
We could
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
that's
don't get me wrong, fellas. If I could work for myself and make 35, 40 grand a year and just scrape by and just put out, you know, art projects and the shit that I wanted to do, then I'm happy to scrape by. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
If I could
Yeah.
gross, if I could net 30 to 40 a year, that's more than I make now.
Well,
Yeah, that's
but
the same with
Jason
me.
also mentioned a very important thing: benefits.
Yes. Very important.
Yeah.
Benefits
Well, I mean,
with the job.
if I make 40K a year, my friend does sell medical insurance. I could just hit him up and be like, dude, what can you get me that is price affordable but also really good? and he wouldn't steer me wrong. He's been a friend for like
a
40
big
years.
thing to
And I'll
factor.
and I'll tell
like,
you what,
into
guys,
income
I'm
is-
55 years old. I've never given a shit about insurance in
You're
my life.
55.
A young man.
Yeah.
You're
Yes, sir.
55. I thought you were older than me. I'm older than you.
Now,
Yeah.
you got me
1
by
year.
like about I think 8 months or something like
Okay.
that, Rick.
I mean, I
Wow.
kind of need
Okay.
medical, but it's
I did a
still
lot
either
in
which
that 8
way.
months.
Either which
Yeah.
way, Inkspots and I could put out, you know, at minimum 2 books a year. So people don't like waiting. I don't blame them for a book a year. Like it sucks, but we can do it because we love it. Like this is what we love. This is just passion, you know.
That's
so,
what I was gonna say. We don't need to make a huge amount of money. Doing what you love is a huge factor into what you're willing to take for your income too.
Right.
That's
Like
true.
if I'm not destroying my body every single day
Right.
doing a physical
Yeah,
labor,
see,
it's gonna be
and that-
worth a
and-
lot to me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
and,
you'll take a pay cut.
and that's what I've
Yeah.
done for 30 plus years. You know, I sacrificed my body to provide for my family.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm finally at the point where I can, you know, demand a little bit better from the people that employ me.
Mhm.
So it's nice to you know, get to that place in your life where you can go, yeah, I don't have to work that hard anymore because
Right.
I know enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they say your top earning years are in your 50s. So Jason has that to look forward to, and so does he.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
But
And I'm
yeah,
working on it.
Yeah, all you young pups have that to look forward to.
Well, another like let's say Frog G does take off. We're capable of doing it, and we put out the next Frog G book after that on top of it. And let's say that kicks us off us quitting our jobs, just doing comics. Well, then we get the benefit of yes, Frog G, but also at Samurai Priest at the same time as Frog G, because now I'm at home working, and honestly, I draw to get a break from drawing. So I could work on Absolute Samurai Priest alongside Frog G. Inkspots
And
can
while
work
I'm
on
working
Metal
on
Mayhem
Metal
Rock
Mayhem
Boy.
Rock Boy,
Yeah, and so you're going to get more content out of us and more frequently throughout the year because we're working at home. Like this is a dream job, and it's just something we've always wanted to do. And we emulated all the 90s artists and early 80s artists, and we saw that detail, so we wanted to do that. And that's what we do. We didn't know they had like ghost artists and stuff. We were able to punch out those, like, that's why we could do like page a day, because we're so used to that style in what we do. We already did it. We didn't sit there to take all the time like, oh, I'm not going to finish this page, somebody else can come in. No, we were just so used to doing it. It's what we do. So
for me, I could do a page a day of drawing, or I could do 2 to 3 pages a day of coloring. So like when you have time, you can get this stuff pumped out. So.
Exactly.
Amen.
So like it'd be very possible for like 2 Frog G campaigns, and then 1 like Absolute or and Metal Mayhem Rock Boy a year. Like you know, you'd have two Frog Gs, 1 Absolute a year, 2 Frog Gs, 1 Metal Mayhem Rock Boy a year.
Is Frog G going to be under Unhinged Entertainment banner?
I am going to be putting it out under Unhinged Entertainment, but it's Absolute. It will not be in any Absolute books now. Like it won't be like Absolute presents Frog G, but like if Inkspots wants to toss Frog G into the background of like Metal Mayhem Rock Boy, that's fine.
Stuff,
like a little cameo, cool. Background character, fine. I could toss him in the back, as long as it's not a solo book making money because of the character. If that's the case, we cannot. No Frog G or a subsequent character from Frog G can be made without the consent of all 3 of us.
Yeah, we have to all 3 agree, and then. Any project that gets done featuring any of the characters is the split that we came up with in our contract. So.
Exactly. So
nice.
Even any offshoot characters, like if it's made up afterwards, but it's part of the Frog G universe, it's all split, fairly. Like we put in contracts.
Here's a loaded question for you guys, and it's a CG in general. When are we gonna get an AR-15 orangutan comic book?
Good question, man.
Well,
I want that too.
Too bad you weren't here earlier. Mo Biggs was in the chat earlier to answer that.
Oh, damn it. I love Mo, man. Mo promoted my channel big time the other night. Did you guys see the B-Rose EFAP?
I did not.
No.
Oh my God. Mo
Nice.
Big. I love that guy, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
my
cool.
guess is you won't see an AR-15 orangutan on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, or you'll see it for a minute before they kick it off there. So.
Yeah.
Well, that was
All right.
one of the first pieces I got from Jason. I won it in a Red Valkyrie auction.
Right.
Was the
You got
AR-15
the
piece?
ARO. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's cool, man.
I drew
And
that on a
that
drawing.
hangs proudly on my wall, man.
Nice,
That,
man. Thanks,
I
bro.
love
And
that
So
piece.
cool.
It's not out, not even the mail up out, but he has 3 already film bat pieces.
Nice.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Once I get our mailing list,
I've been a heavy Fembat fan for a couple of years now, haven't I, Brett?
yes, you have. I
So
appreciate you.
I hate to interrupt the party, but I gotta hit the sack. It's getting super late.
I'm getting there too,
So,
guys.
man.
All right. Thank you for coming on there.
Yeah,
Ink
no
spots.
problem, man. Thanks for having us.
You
Sign up
betcha.
for the Project Mailing List.
I'm going to go ahead and actually, in this stream, I'm about to get to bed myself. So, guys, please sign up for Frog G today.
Sign
Yes, absolutely. And
Hell yeah.
please
Don't
promote,
miss out on this, people.
and sub to Shadowhawk Backs, and sub to Devil Flyer, sub to Jason's Unhinged, and of course Ink Spots. So
If
And
you
of
like
course my
songs
channel.
about penises and fat women, subscribe to my YouTube.
Ink Spots is the place for you. Yeah.
yes, Ink Spots. All right, guys.
Hail the
Thank you for-
chat.
Hail to the chat,
Hail
everyone.
to the
Thank you
chat.
so much. Have a good night.
Hell,
Ciao.
good night, everybody.
See you next
See you
time.
later.